Well, good evening, racing fans. Welcome to Grand River Raceway for this Monday evening. Our first race will go to post in approximately 20 minutes. It's a little bit warmish. The temperature will be recorded as 25 degrees Celsius and the track listed as fast. The announcer listed as slow. Let's get a look at the changes on this evening's card of racing. Note in race number 1, there are no changes. No changes, race number 1. And the second race, well, note there is a scratch of number 3, Mitty Rose. Race 2, scratch 3, Mitty Rose. And number 6, Alessandra. Scott Young is going to be the driver. Scott Young will drive number 6, Alessandra, in the second. The third race, number 8, Supervise the Moment. It'll be Colin Kelly to drive. Colin Kelly drives the 8 in the third. Race number 4, number 8, Sporting. Well, first thing to note is races from the trailer post. So note that trailer post for 8 Sporty. And a bridle change. Blind bridle to blinkers. Blind blinkers. Race number 5, no changes. No changes, race 5. Race number 6-1, Ezra Express. The driver to be announced, that's race 6-1, Ezra Express. Driver to be announced. The 7th race, no changes. No changes, race 7. The 8th race, number 7, Joe Rockhead, driver to be announced, TBA on the 7 and the 8th. 9th race, no changes. No changes, race 9. And the 10th race, number 4, Cranky's Boy, driver to be announced. And number 6, he's got swagger. The driver will be Travis Henry. Travis Henry will drive number 6, he's got swagger in the 10th. And the 11th race will go as programmed. No changes, race number 11. Once again, reviewing races 1 and 2. Race 1 kicks off the early daily double with no changes. And the second race scratched is 3, Mitty Rose, and number 6, Alessandra. The driver will be Scott Young. 17 minutes to our first dash, and time to welcome in live from the Robert Reed Jr. Estates, Robert, our color man for this evening. Rob, I know you're following a lot of racing action over the weekend. What piqued your fancy on the weekend of harness racing in Ontario?
Well, where do I begin? I mean, there was Ontario Sire Stakes action all over, pretty much the province throughout the weekend. Obviously, I loved Better Have My Money at Mohawk Park. That horse is just incredible. And Millar Farms, wow, they've got a complete army of what appears to be monsters this season. So looking forward to see how those all pan out. Of course, last night there was even more OSS Golds at Georgian Downs. And speaking of OSS, well, how about the Meadowlands Pace? An Ontario sired horse winning their Lawless Shadow, getting placed up via disqualification. High drama in the Meadowlands Pace this year, but an incredible card from south of the border of the Meadowlands. You know what else I really enjoyed? The Ontario Women's Driver Championships at Hanover and Dresden. I'll tell you right now, it brought me back to racing when I was a kid at Greenwood Raceway and half-mile tracks throughout the province, because they weren't giving an inch out there. Every race, they were going at it tooth and nail, and it was a real incredible display. Natasha Day ended up on top. She drives here regularly. That was amazing to see as well. But I really enjoyed those 10 races, 5 from Hanover and 5 from Dresden. What about you, Gary?
You caught me with a mouthful of potato chips. Well, I'll tell you, I was very excited watching the Meadowlands Pace. I really enjoyed that. But I also enjoyed seeing that, you don't want to win that way. Mark McDonald getting placed from second up to first, but still I know Mark personally. Didn't I don't know a lot of the other drivers on a personal level, so I was really happy for Mark, even though the way that he won it. I also think maybe if that horse would have gotten out earlier anyway, he might have gone by and won. So, and it was nice to see
Yeah.
also, like you said, an Ontario sired horse winning it.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, that's a good point too. Mark McDonald, I certainly have followed him through the years, and very happy to see him in the winner's circle, along with Doc Moore as well. But anyways, guys, it's Monday now. We're through the weekend, but we're gonna get your week started off right here at Grand River Raceway on a marvelous Monday. We've got 11 races on the card. Of course, I'm Robert Jr. I'll be your on-air handicapper this evening. We're going to try to have some fun, pick some winners, look for some value. I think tonight I'm kind of looking for value in a few spots that might seem a little bit outrageous at times, but hopefully we'll get one of them down. We've got 5 Ontario sired stakes grassroots divisions for 2-year-old colts and geldings, and we got a lot of drivers over here from Mohawk Park tonight as well. And we're going to end the night not with 1 preferred, but 2 preferred dashes, which is pretty nice. Both open draw events. There were so many horses that we had for the preferred. This time we figured we'd do it twice in races 10 and 11. I love the fact that they're open draw events this time around, and I like a couple horses in those races as well. But as you guys always know, we're going to start off with that pick 5 guaranteed pool of $2,500. And like we do every night, Gary and I have mapped out some tickets. We were both a winner last Friday. The problem was we only doubled our money, so we want to do better than that tonight. Hopefully we'll both cash again and have a much better profit on our tickets. But we'll come back in just a few minutes to map out those wagers for you.
Since 1996, the Ontario Standardbred Adoption Society has facilitated the retraining and management of more than 1,000 retired and non-racing standardbred horses. This award-winning organization also plays a key role in the advocacy and promotion of the breed's versatility and suitability for many equine disciplines beyond harness racing. Volunteers and temporary foster homes are vital to our success. If you have a passion for standardbreds, learn more at osas.ca.
All right, folks. Well, it's pick 5 time, and like we do every night, Gary and I have mapped out some tickets for you. The prize pool for the early pick 5 is guaranteed at $2,500, and let's hope that one of us can win more than we did last time. All we did last time was double our money. I think it make about $10 on the ticket, but I'm going to spend $10.80 tonight, which is similar to what I usually spend. I try to keep it around, $8 to $12 or in that range for 20 cents, and well. My ticket's going to start off with a key in the first division of the OSS Grassroots for 2-year-old Colts and Geldings on the pace. I'm going number 4, Stu's Watching. I thought this one was very impressive at Mohawk Park in his lifetime debut, winning a division of the Grassroots there from the 10 hole, which is not easy to do, 55 flat. I love the connections. I'm just going to single that one. I'm sure many others will as well. In the second leg, I'm going to go 2 deep using the 4 and 5. Originally, it was going to be 3 and 5, but the 3 is scratched. So I'm going to throw on Carwin's Lucky Luna, but I really like Tiara Dancer. That's one that I think, might really like the transition over to Grand River Raceway. And I wouldn't have been, too upset keying that one, but we'll go 2 deep there with the 4 and the 5. In the third leg, going through 3 deep, number 2, Century Invictus, number 4, Nassau Hanover, and number 6, ATS Hanover. I think they are the 3 logical horses in the race. And then after that, in race number 4, 3 horses again. The 2 was Saga, the 3 Be Vanish. And I really like number 8, Sporty, especially with the fact that this filly will score from post 9 and not the outside post. But I'm going to go 3 deep there with the 2, 3, and 8. And then the last leg, the money leg, well, I'm going to go 3 deep. Lion's Pride, number 1, and number 8, My Blueberry Buck are the obvious ones. But I'm also going to use Highborn. Thought this one didn't have much of a chance in his first race north of the border, and I thought it was a decent enough effort to come from out of it to come home in 27 seconds flat. So I'm going 3 deep there, 1, 6, and 8. My ticket, $10.80 for 20 cents, and I can't wait to see what Gary has in store for us tonight.
Well, you might be the only one that can't wait. I'll tell you, I spent a little less money. So $9.60. And first race, we're in agreement that 4 Stu's Watching is a key horse. The second race, we both have the 5. You've added the 4 because of the scratch of the 3. And I have the 7 on top and have added your 5, Tiara Dancer. So 5 and 7. Third race, I have 1, 2, 4, and 6. So I have your 3. Plus I have the 1, Sunshine Love on the inside. Just inside post position. Don't want to leave that one off. Race number 4. Well, you have the 2, 3, and 8. Interesting that you have the 8 on top, but I have just the 3 and the 8, so I don't even have the one that you have chosen, the 2 there, so I have 2 of your 3. And the fifth race, well, we're kind of similar, but a little bit different. 1, 2, and 8. A little bit of variation, just I don't have the 6 Highborn. And, that would help you if Highborn comes in the fifth race. $9.60.
For us, Gary, similar but different. The ticket price, I'm slightly higher, and we have multiple ways that we could both win. So we could play nice tonight and both cash again. But maybe one of us will get greedy, and that Highborn horse in the fifth can get the job done at a price for a nice payout. But that's the way we see the pick 5, folks. Let's get to race number 1. I'm excited for this card because we got 5 divisions of the OSS Grassroots for 2-year-old Colts and Geldings on the pace. And, well, we've already said it in our pick 5 ticket. I think number 4, Stu's Watching, is the horse in this race. I really think this one raced fantastic at Mohawk Park on July 9th in the first division of this OSS Grassroots. From the 10 hole, parked to the quarter, made the lead, and never looked back. Back half 56 and 2. I think that, he gets a post position edge over the other horse in the race, the other main player in the race, who is number 7, Stonecarver. So for me, it is Stu's Watching over Stonecarver. I see that right now the favorite is number 7, Stonecarver. That will likely change and flip, I would think, by post time. But I do think those are the best 2 in the race. But number 8, Up the Creek, is 1, 2 that need to consider because, well, third to Colby Two-Step and second to Bob Law is not the worst in the world because both those horses are rock solid horses that have performed well in the gold. So you got to consider number 8, Up the Creek, as well. And then for fourth, I threw in number 2, #Watch Me. But we'll talk about this race a little more in just a few moments because the horses are coming out onto the track for the opener. And we'll come back and talk more with Gary Guy in just a few moments.
Field for race number 1, first grassroots division on post parade 1 is all a boil. It is Scott Culver, Clark, Bealby, and Coyote Wind Farms. Number 2, hashtag Watch Me, James McDonough, Scott McEnany, and Joe Tinelli. And number 3 is Messiah, Chris Christopher for Greg McNair and Howard Taylor. And number 4 is Stu's Watching, Sylvan Filia for Dr. Ian Moore and Ratchford Stable. And number 5, Raising Sand, Robert Shepard for Blake McIntosh and Hutt Racing and Steve Heimbacher. Number 6, Hayden James, Paul McKenzie for Gerard Demers. And number 7 is Stone Carver, Scott Young for Anthony Beaton and Robert Bridges. And number 8 is Up the Creek, Jody Jameson for Dave Maneri Racing and Mike Guerrera, as well as Alan Alber and George Harrison. Field of 8, race number 1, first dash going to post shortly. We'll get a look at this field. And now, Rob, as you mentioned, you expected the odds to flip. They have substantially flipped. Number 4 is Stu's Watching, 1-5 on the board. Sylvan Filia for Dr. Ian Moore, who's fresh off a very good weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And Stu's Watching is one that has already that big dominant win at Mohawk in the grassroots and won that rather handily and shows some good overall speed as well.
Yeah, definitely. Really nice qualifier going into that event too. That really caught my eye. And then, winning from the 10 hole is no easy task, especially for a horse making his lifetime debut. And this horse did it with ease. So 4 hole here at Grand River Raceway should be no issue. And I think that he gets a big post edge over the other main contender in the race.
Number 7, Stone Carver, took a lot of early money. Now has floated up to 5-1, but is clearly the second choice on the board and is your second choice. And Stone Carver, the question will be, is he going to leave like he did in that grassroots race July the 9th at Mohawk? Maybe he can. He certainly has shown well, a win and a second, but does show racing from off the pace as well July the 2nd.
Yeah, that effort was actually a fantastic one, Gary, on July the 2nd. This horse, really came home well and was flying late. Final eighth of a mile was ultra impressive. The win last time was nice as well. 7 holes tough here to leave from, but there's going to probably be gaps in this race, I would think. So even if he doesn't get away with the lead, he might be able to get away forwardly placed.
I thought it was interesting also that Stone Carver came home in 27-2 in that last race, even though went to the front. So was sharp all the way to the finish. There is number 8, Up the Creek. It's Jody Jameson for Dave Menery. Well, has drawn the worst post position, but you do see this one with strong final quarters in each of, those 2 races, plus the qualifier, dominant qualifier as well. Up the Creek, well, tough post, but you do get 13-1.
Yeah, definitely. The price right now in this one is definitely, is an overlay, I would say, for sure. Especially considering, third to Colby two-step. He's been, racing, fantastic. And Bob Loblaw has also been one that's, came back and finished third in the gold. So, this one definitely has the talent and the speed. The issue for me is just post 8.
And one that doesn't have a problem with post position and is actually my second choice. So I was looking for a flyer underneath the one that I thought would be the heavy favorite. Number 2, hashtag Watch Me. Just basically, instead of taking the 7 and 8, I wanted to try an inside post position to maybe get a better trip. Didn't have a good trip last race at Mohawk. Came first up, tailed off a little bit, not badly so. Hashtag Watch Me. Well, James McDonald had a couple of gold wins at Georgian Downs to kick off the first 2 races last night. Hashtag Watch Me and James McDonald, third start, 13-1. Your thoughts, Rob?
Yeah, this is definitely overlay on this one for sure. Inside post, did rush up against Stu's Watching and got put away on the last turn there and did tire in the stretch. But this shorter surface tonight might be to this one's liking, especially if he can get off the gate.
Well, definitely the post position helps. You're right, if he can get off the gate. One that also should have a chance to get off the gate will be one All a Boil and Scotty Coulter. I just thought if we're going to find one that's not one of the first 4 to sneak onto the ticket, inside post position, and did race have a qualifier over this track, and also did qualify in 57-3 at Mohawk. Maybe All a Boil and Scott Coulter, Clark Bealby, who's certainly a reputed reputable trainer, All Boyle and Scotty Coulter. You get 25-1.
Yeah, we see it so often, don't we, Gary, that the rail horse, whoever it is, as long as they have some ability and can get off the gate well, they can hit the bottom end of the trifecta or the super. And, I certainly think that this one, has a chance to land there today. I mean, it's an unknown quantity. The qualifiers, were decent, and obviously the pole position is going to help.
Well, right now the favorite 1-5 on the board for Stu's Watching. And we'll see if Stu's Watching can live up to that heavy 1-5 billing. Taking up positions, All Boyle, #Watch Me, and Messiah on the inside. In the center, Stu's Watching and Racing Sand to the outside. Aiden James, Stone Carver, and up the creek. Field of 8, race number 1. It is post time on a Monday night at Grand River Raceway. First of 11 dashes. Here they come. Field 4, race number 1, gathering speed, approaching the start. And they're off. #Watch Me will get out well. Off stride goes Stu's Watching. Now Stone Carver. And on the outside up the creek. And then Messiah is racing fourth. #Watch Me is able to grab the early lead. Stone Carver now driving on the outside. And now Stone Carver is going to come on and clear to the front of her. #Watch Me. And then third away is up the creek. And now moving to the outside. Stu's Watching was able to make a recovery from that break and is charging on the outside. It is Stu's Watching and Van Filia in search of the lead against Stone Carver. Opening quarter at 28-1, and Stu's Watching, the 1-5 favorite, has made a huge recovery and bleeds. Stone Carver in the pocket. #Watch Me is third, and up the creek is racing fourth, and then it is back to Messiah, who is well back fifth as they race their way off the turn, and then further back, that is Raising Sand, and then Aiden James and All Boyle, but it is Stu's Watching and Sylvan Filia of a 28-1 opening quarter, gets to the half in 57-2. Stone Carver's got the pocket position, and racing third is #Watch Me. Up the creek is racing fourth, and then it is Messiah and Raising Sand and Aiden James, and All Boyle is back trailing the field. Stu's Watching leads by 2. Now there goes up the creek to the outside and moving up, and on the inside Stone Carver still there in the pocket and racing for this #Watch Me. They march by 3/4 timed in 1:27. Stu's Watching and Sylvan Filia leads it by 2 1/4. Up the creek on the outside and down to the inside Stone Carver. Stone Carver is second. Up the creek now has dropped back a little bit. #Watch Me is sent out 3 wide and is closing ground. On down the stretch ride they come. Stu's Watching. #Watch Me. Stu's Watching is going to win. #Watch Me was second. Stone Carver third. And up the creek was fourth, a mile of 1:55-1. Stu's Watching, Rob. I thought the race was cooked for Stu's Watching at the start, but that was wrong.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, Gary. I saw the the break in stride and said, "Uh-oh, there goes our pick fives. There goes a lot of people's pick fives at 1-5." Great job by Sylvan Filion to get this one back on his gates and settled in, and then rushing up to the lead, and then just really pulverizing this field. I mean, that's an easy win for a horse that made a break off the gate, 55-1.
Of course, we should note that the inquiry sign is up, and it does pertain to that break at the start, so the judges will be reviewing to see if Stu's Watching did cause any interference, and I don't offer an opinion on that. We'll wait to see what comes up there. But number 2, #Watch Me, left really well and then was able to come back around and battle and come on and pick up second. So #Watch Me is one to watch next time, because that was a solid outing.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree with that. I was impressed with this one last time. Kind of pressed, Stu's Watching, around the final turn, and then ended up tiring in the stretch. This time, kind of, timed the move a little bit later on and closed really well to get second. I was actually surprised that he could get past Stone Carver, because Stone Carver ended up getting a real nice trip from the 7-hole. That one, another one to watch for next time. #Watch Me. Nice effort for the play spot.
It did come 4-2-7-8, so we did have the right 4, and most of the people betting this race thought those were the top 4. It came in that way, but we'll see about the inquiry pertaining to 4 Stu's Watching And then hashtag watch me. Stone Carver also flashed a lot of gate speed, so we wondered what he would do from the outside post position, but Scott Young sent him out and still stuck around for third and did end up beating Up the Creek.
Yeah, definitely. You know what? The nice, handy colt off the wings of the gate there, because, like we always say here at Grand River. Now there was obviously more gaps because of the fact that they are rookies and a lot of these horses are still learning. But Stone Carver did get away well off the gate and was a pretty handy one. So no fear betting this one again on a half-mile surface.
Now the only question will be the inquiry pertaining to this first race. Judges looking at the start, and there is right now Stu's watching, and made a solid break, then recovers. They'll also be checking to make sure that he did continue to lose ground while off stride. There's also the other thing that sometimes can get a horse pitched. Failure to continuously lose ground while off stride. But judges reviewed that start, and they'll take another look at it here. And interesting start for number 4, Stu's watching. Usually if a favorite 1 to 5 makes a break at the start, you're thinking, boy, this race is going to open up for all the high-priced horses, but it didn't turn out that way.
No, yeah, I thought the same thing, Gary. I said, "Oh, this is big trouble for the backers of the favorite," and then, like I said too, selfishly, our pick 5 tickets because we had this one singled, but now we still got to sweat out the inquiry.
Well, sweat no more if you did have 4 Stu's watching. The inquiry sign will go down. The judges ruling that Stu's watching did not violate the racing regulations in terms of that break. 4-2-7-8, the inquiry sign down. And there is a look at number 4. Stu's watching. 2-year-old He's Watching Bay Colt, owned by Ratchford Stable, trained by Dr. Ian Moore. Sylvain Filion is the winning driver. 2 for 2 lifetime. Stu's watching. Mile of 1:55.1. The first race payouts for Stu's watching. 240, 210, 210, to hashtag watch me, 350, 280. 7 Stone Carver, $242 exactor, $760 try, $1120 super, 24.55. The first race order finish from the tops is 625 17834. That's 625 17834.
All right, folks, well, it's time to take a look at race number 2. We've got filly mares non-winners of 5,000 lifetime. And in this one here, I'm going to number 5, Tierra Dancer. This is one that, I watched the replays of, and I thought that they were, reasonably okay over at Mohawk Park in her last two on July 1st and July 8th. Two back, she kind of, got shuffled back, didn't have room in the early part of the stretch drive. Did get it late and didn't really have too much to offer, but the field was decent on that occasion. And now, switching over to, Grand River Raceway in this easier spot, it might, wake this one up. She did have Sylvain Filion once before, and that was when they ended up, finishing 7th in that time that it was her first start back. But I do think this one, looks like she fits well in here. And Sylvain Filion on the bike never hurt. So she is my top selection. In for second now, my second choice is number 4, Carwin's Lucky Luna. This is one that is coming off of vet scratch sick. Last race on June 26th at Georgian Downs, finished 5th there. Went a bit of a overland trip. And, picks up, Chris Christopher tonight. And I think this one, has a chance, especially right now at 14-1. I like the price on number 4, Carwin's Lucky Luna. In for third, it was at number 7, Fashion Blogger. We saw this one on July 12th. First start, back off a lengthy layoff. Had an inside post, got away third, finished there in a race where Patina Sealster was much the best. Could improve coming into this one now. My problem is post 7. I'm just not so sure that post 7 is an ideal spot for this one. It's not an ideal spot for anyone. And last time this one had post 7 here at Grand River Raceway, it didn't work out too well. So I have a hard time putting Fashion Blogger on top from out there. And then in for fourth, they went to number 6, Alessandra. Right now, 4-5 on the board. That is a really short price on this one. Last time finished 5th in that race against Patina Sealster. I did like the effort first time for Billy Budd here on June the 21st. First over from the 9-hole, decent effort. Last two, though, were a little bit underwhelming for me. Post 6 again this time. Taking a lot of live money, but for me, would just be a play underneath. I'm going to go with number 5, Tierra Dancer on top right now. 3-1's a rock solid price, but she is the huge favorite in the double right now. So I would say that price will come down. The closer we get to post time. But we'll come back after the post parade and talk about this race a little bit more with Gary Guy.
Field for the second on parade. 1 No Time, Austin Sorry for Murray Brethren, Doug Millard, and Barry McLennan. Number 2 is Dash Doll, Dave Duncan for Brenda Duncan. 3 is scratched. Number 4 is Carwin's Lucky Luna, Chris Christophorou for Murray Breather and Dennis Karuna. And number 5, Tierra Dancer, Sylvain Fillion for Les Posen. Number 6, Alessandra, Scott Young for Bill Budd and Frank Lamacchia and Tony Maselli. And number 7, Fashion Blogger, Nick Stewart for Mike Sumner. And number 8, Cerrone Sealster, Travis Henry for Melissa Lamoureux and Archie Moore. And number 9, SG Alexia. Sylvain Grenier drives and trains and owns. It's a field of 8 for race number 2. The 3 is out. And first up, we'll take a look at number 5, Tierra Dancer. There is Rob's top choice and does come in off of maidens at Mohawk. Now only a 6th and a 7th, but beat 5 1/4 last time out. Finished them out nicely, Rob.
Yeah, I watched the replays a few times on this one, and obviously, not really competitive with the winners in that race, but certainly kind of, held her own in the mid-pack, and this is certainly an easier group facing tonight at Grand Raceway in this now. There's a 5,000 lifetime event. I like the fact that Sylvain Fillion's aboard now. He was, at the pilot 2 starts back, and 3-1 on the board right now, but she's only paying $6 in the double. So I think we're going to see that adjust significantly by post time, Gary.
Well, obviously, number 6, Alessandra, taking so much money, has tipped the win betting. But there is a look at number 6, Alessandra. Now, strangely, I should mention, it's my second one in my picks, and yet I have the 5 and the 7 in the pick 5. Well, the reason for that is once the 3 was scratched, I actually got a look at your pick 5 picks and decided to throw in the 5 because I didn't want you to have it alone. I wished I'd have just stayed with my 6, Alessandra, and been the lone wolf on this because I actually like Alessandra.
Yeah, you might end up regretting that, right? I am flattered that you thought you had to use my selection, Gary, but, she looks pretty good on the track, and she's taking a lot of live money. Nice score out there by Scott Young on Alessandra. This is one that I actually really liked on June the 21st when she ended up finishing 5th. She was my long shot, kind of playing the ticket. She raced well to be first over and then finished 5th at 52-1. Looks sharp on the track right now, 8-5, and the money continues to pour in on this one.
Well, one thing, too, all the years that I've announced at Flamborough, I've learned not to disregard Billy Budd. You know the saying, who's the best? Billy Budd's the best. Alessandra is 3-2. There is a look at number 4, Carwin's Lucky Luna, CC, Chris Christophorou. The negative here for me was hasn't raced since the 26th of June and was scratched bet sick on the last start. Carwin's Lucky Luna, Rob.
Yeah, this one was kind of like an X factor for me. I think that she's one that either is going to need to start, but she might be one that also goes out there and produces a pretty solid performance. I don't like taking horses off time like that, especially if a vet scratch sick. But I just kind of kept coming back to this horse. She's going to leave from post 3 now, and the lines aren't too bad. And I don't know. I thought she'd be a bit of a price, and I thought I would throw her in there with Christophorou in the bike tonight. Not like crazy about the horse as a win ticket play, but I wanted to have her in my pick 5 as a potential bust out.
Now, here is one area where we disagree. So you have number 7, Fashion Blogger, as your 4th choice. And I have this one on top with a scratch of 3 because it was going to be my second choice. The thing with Fashion Blogger, I know you noted that post 7, August the 12th here, but also the trailer post on a sloppy track was way back and was able to close really nicely. So I do see that closing effort. Fashion Blogger, this would be the second start of the year, and a 57 4 mile compares well. Yes, the problem will be the post position, but I actually think Fashion Blogger might actually be the best one in this race. We'll see if she can overcome post position for trainer Mike Sumner, Nick Stewart driving.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that that statement that she might be the best horse in the race long term, definitely possible. She gets bumped up to 3rd in my selections as well with the scratch of the 3. I just the post 7 just really scares me. Last time was first start back off the bench, but inside posts kind of got away well, got an ideal trip, and did her job. She held her position, but I just think it's going to be a lot tougher from out there. And and for me, just to play underneath that best.
And there's one I want to have some regard for is number 8, Cerrone Sealster, Travis Henry. First time start for Melissa Lamoureux. And a one that, doesn't have a start yet this year and had only one start last year. Maybe a chance to go forward. Problem is the post, but you do get 13-1.
Yeah, that's not a bad place to go shopping right now, 14-1. I tried to get this horse onto my ticket. I looked at her over and over again. You know how much I like putting Melissa Lamoureux horses, especially first time out of that barn, on top or at least somewhere on the ticket. I kind of left this one out. Might be regretting it after the race, though, especially at a price of 14-1.
Well, we'll see how it unfolds. Right now, number 6, Alessandra, has continued to take money and is a slight favorite at 8-5 with 5, Tierra Dancer at 2-1. It's No Time and Dash Doll on the inside. In the center, Carwin's Lucky Luna and Tierra Dancer and Alessandra to the outside with Fashion Blogger and Cerrone Sealster in the second tier, SG Alexia. It's a field of 8, the second dash on a kind of warmish Monday night at the river. Here they come. The field for the second race is at the start of the route. Tierra Dancer waltzes out sharply. Fashion Blogger is going to leave, as is Cerrone Sealster. At No Time is down to the inside, racing into the front 3. And a little rough looking there was Fashion Blogger working on the outside and now dropping back a bit as Dash Doll is racing third, then Fashion Blogger. And Cerrone Sealster is out 3 wide and is charging. Then Alessandra, SG Alexa, and Carwin's Lucky Luna trailing the field. Tierra Dancer's got the lead, but marching still is Cerrone Sealster and Travis Henry challenging Tierra Dancer. No Time is third, and then Dash Doll is racing fourth, and Fashion Blogger found a seat on the inside in front of Alessandra. Then it is XG Alexia, and then Carwin's Lucky Luna. They race off the turn and they come on towards us. Tierra Dancer and Sylvain Filion has the lead as they race on towards us, and Cerrone Sealster in the pocket. No Time is racing on the inside third, 3.5 from the front. Here comes Fashion Blogger now, working first over. Dash Doll on the inside to the outside. Alessandra follows Fashion Blogger. Half was 59 seconds. Then it's SG Alexia and Carwin's Lucky Luna. But Tierra Dancer on down the backstretch they go. Has a lead still of a couple of lengths. Fashion Blogger is on the outside and is second now. And then Cerrone Sealster and Alessandra is moving up on the outside, and then No Time. They hustle on up to 3/4 off that 59.5, and now Fashion Blogger has dropped down to the inside on the back of Tierra Dancer. 3/4 129. Cerrone Sealster is third. Alessandra is racing fourth, and No Time is fifth, and then Dash Doll and SG Alexia. But Tierra Dancer is starting to waltz away from the field and leads it by 3 or 4. Fashion Blogger is second right now as they come on down the stretch ride, but it's all Tierra Dancer to win it, going away, taking it by 9 or 10 lengths. Fashion Blogger second. Then it was No Time and SG Alexia on the inside to finish fourth, but 158-2. Tierra Dancer was able to go all the way and look pretty nice and smooth in doing so.
Yeah, Gary, and that price dropped like we thought it would. Much more in line with the double that was only paying $6.10. Dropped down to 3-5 late, and Sylvain Filion had a mitt full of horse, it looks like, to the wire. And as soon as this one went to the top, I said, okay, this is probably going to work out well. And it did. I do think that Fashion Blogger is one to watch next time. I know you like that one. Had a lot of trouble getting off the gate, put steps into the first turn. It's not easy to leave from post 7. Did, get collected and then did mount a nice charge. Ended up getting the second spot. It was a wide margin, but that one did finish second by a wide margin. So I would come back to that one next time for sure.
Yeah, definitely in terms of the race, even if Fashion Blogger wasn't rough on the first turn, I think still proved to be second best because Tierra Dancer really lived up to your billing. And Fashion Blogger second, you get a 5-7 exactor, mile of 158-2 with Tierra Dancer. And then No Time, you get that inside post position at 16-1, and 9 SG Alexia, 50-1 for Sylvain Grenier for a nice little addition to make the super effective pay a little bit because of having a 3-5 on the top.
Oh, definitely. It should certainly add some value to it. A couple of horses that I did not have in my top four, but you know what I always say: if someone out there liked the one, I hope they use the nine because you've got to put those two together most of the time with the way they leave off the gate.
Well, they definitely got put together here behind a couple that we did like 5-7 to 1-9. But Sylvan Filia and Tierra Dancer proved to be much the best in the second race, the second half of the early double. And Tierra Dancer coming back in front of us is a 3-year-old better than Cheddar Bay Philip, owned and trained by Les Posen. Sylvan Filia, the winning driver. First win for Tierra Dancer, 158-2. Also note the photo is by Tiffany Chantel Photography. If you want to get wind photos, note they can be available about 10 minutes after each race. Available, you can hook up with Tiffany as she has the photo booth at the west end of the grandstand, right facing the paddock. Tiffany Chantel Photography doing a fine job and has those photos ready for you quite quickly, about 10 minutes after each race. The second race payouts, number 5, Tierra Dancer, 350, 260, 220. 7, Fashion Blogger, 380, 291, no time, 420. The double of 4 and 5, $6.10. The $2 exactor pays $14.30. Dollar try, $42.85. The dollar super, $401.60. The second race order of finish from the top, so 3-7. Scratch 618254. That's 37 scratch 618254. And fans, just to note, you know whose birthday it is today? We'd like to send out a very special happy birthday to Pete Charlton. Happy birthday to you. No, I'm not going to sing anymore. Happy birthday to Pete Charlton.
All right, folks, well, it's time to take a look at race number 3. It's the start of the early pick four, so start mapping out your winning wagers for that one. And it's also the second division of the OSS Grassroots for 2-year-old colts and geldings on the pace. And I'm going to a horse that I liked last time at Mohawk Park, number 2, Century Invictus. I thought that, this one raced reasonably well, went to the front from post 2, the same post that he has tonight. And, went, reasonable tempo on the engine before tiring late and finishing fourth, beaten by a length and a half to a horse that came from way out of it and was flying late. Nice win at Hanover on June the 26th, going away win on that occasion. And I like the qualifier as well in between. Just think this one might enjoy getting back to the half-mile surface. Picks up James McDonald tonight, who's been driving fantastic, at in all the OSS events and at Mohawk Park. So I think Century Invictus is going to be difficult to beat, especially if he leaves well off the gate again. He might be tough to catch right now. 2-1. I'd prefer him over anyone else in the race right now at a lower price, where the 4 and the 6 are both taking that action to go actually at a lower price than that one at 2-1. Number 4, Nassau Hanover. Like the way this one raced last time, got away well from post 8, and then did kind of get locked on the inside before closing late to be second. I will say that ATS Hanover was really coming on rapidly on this one to the wire. So a few more steps, that one might have got, this colt. But I do like Nassau Hanover for second. I think that the possibility could be a favorable trip, get away, and hopefully either get towed into it or, sit forwardly placed. Right now, 5-2 is a better price on Nassau Hanover, that's for sure. I wouldn't take less than that, but this one does have a big chance. Number 6, ATS Hanover, last time got away 6, got shuffled back all the way to last, and then closed really well late. 27 seconds flat last quarter, 55-3 back half. I like this horse. Was a pricey yearling as well. Post 6 today, though. Might leave off the gate. Can come from out of it, too. But for me, I just think that Century Invictus has a big edge over these ones drawing inside and with that early speed. So ATS Hanover is a play underneath for me. I slotted this gelding in for third. And then in for fourth, they went to number 1, Sunshine Love. This is one that we saw, on debut on July the 14th here at Grand River. got away really well from the 7-hole, had a big margin, all the way through before getting beat by Chickaboom in the stretch, who was a real well-meant firster as well. I think Sunshine Love has enough speed to get away well and then sit for a piece of it. And certainly, lock down the third or fourth spot in the exotics. 9-1 is probably the right price on that one as well. But for me, I'm going number 2, Century Invictus. I like the way this one raced at Hanover, like the qualifier. Didn't mind his first start over the big track on July the 9th, and I think he's going to enjoy getting back to the shorter surface tonight. Underneath number 4, Nassau Hanover, number 6, ATS Hanover, and number 1, Sunshine Love. But as always, we'll come back and talk about this second division of the OSS Grassroots a little further with Gary Guy after the post break.
Field for the third, second grassroots division. On parade 1, Sunshine Love, Jay Harris for Jeffrey Williamson and Rebecca Williamson. Number 2, Century Invictus, James McDonough for Jonathan McKinnon and the stable. Number 3, All in Jest, Robert Shepard for Blake McIntosh and Hutt Racing and Linda Bedard. And number 4, Nassau Hanover, Mike Saftig for John Pentland and Pete Charlton and Archie Leach. Number 5, Unlaced, Sylvan Filion for Blair Burgess and Corinne Olsen Burgess. Number 6, ATS Hanover, Jody Jamison for Dave Maneri and also Alan Alber and PBG Stables and Steve Heimbecker. Number 7 is Aries Shadow, Chris Christopherou for Greg McNair and Ildren Boy Stable. And number 8 is Supervise the Moment, Cullen Kelly for David Fry and Ron Nobes. Field of 8, race number 3, the second grassroots division. And right now, Rob, your horse is holding up at 7-2 Century Invictus. James is coming in off of a good night at Georgian Downs last night, and Century Invictus, well, has that advantage of the post position. Used it last time out, although didn't complete the mile. Certainly was a solid performance.
Yeah, I like that performance. They got beat by a horse from way out of it that kind of, put forth a real crazy late closing effort, and this one didn't get beat by too much. Thought the tempo was solid enough, and the win at Hanover was a nice one, and I loved the qualifier when James was aboard. So I think this one right now is 7-2 is a big overlay.
Also note $67,000 yearling, so although we'll touch on the big price of number 6, also one that is meant to be a good one. There's number 4, Nassau Hanover, and you often mention, Rob, key races. Well, we saw Stu's Watching already this evening. Nassau Hanover was second to Stu's Watching in that start, the first start for him, so that's a good measuring stick, and had to do it from post position 8. Now, still was beaten 3 1/4, but nice 56 2 back half.
Yeah, this one definitely, finished off well, and like I said, I liked the 56 2 back half. I do think that ATS Hanover, with a few more strides, likely would have got up for that second spot, but Nassau Hanover certainly did his job, especially getting away well from post 8. He was 43-1 on that occasion, 2-1 today, 9-5 now. Difficult for me to kind of take that win ticket price, but I certainly think he's one you need to consider.
Now, there's the pricey yearling, $125,000 for number 6 ATS Hanover. And looked the part closing last time out. Has had 2 starts. Doesn't have a top 2 yet. I've got this one on top alone. You and Kenny both have gone to 2 Century Invictus, so I'm all by myself. But 9-5, I don't mind being alone on this one. I thought that was a heck of a closing effort.
Yeah, it definitely was a nice one. And both starts are kind of similar, though. Get away, obviously with the lead, two starts back, then got shuffled, then came back on for third when he found room in the stretch. Last time got away sixth, shuffled all the way back to last, and then closed well. I was shocked this horse didn't take money in his debut, being such an expensive yearling, but I guess the qualifiers didn't show too much. Last two have been impressive. I just thought that, if I can get a better price or a similar price on a horse with speed from the inside, I'll take it.
Well, the price right now is 5-2 on 6 ATS Hanover. There's one that's a nice price, 12-1. One Sunshine Love, Jay Harris. You loved this horse last time out. In fact, it was your top pick, I believe, and Sunshine Love just got picked up by Chickaboom late in the mile.
Yeah, I love the handiness of this one off the gate. Post 7 and blasted out 28-4. It had a wide margin throughout. Certainly a good learning experience for this colt, and now he gets a much easier position to push out from. So, can use that early speed and may not, get used up too much in the early stages of the race. I don't know if he can necessarily go with the 2, 4, or 6, but right now we're all now 2-1 on the board. But I certainly think that he's one that merits respect somewhere on the bottom end of the exotics.
There's one that's getting close to similar money to number 1 Sunshine Love is 3 All in Jest, Robert Shepard, and Rob's no a stranger to success on the half-mile track driving. All in Jest did not perform all that well. Well beaten last time out. But in the maiden start, fired out hard, so he get a favorable post and finished 4th beaten 3.
Yeah, I think this is, one that might be able to, land somewhere, underneath. You look at the post positions, and that's really the one thing that almost made me put this one in my top 4 is the fact that post 8, 2 starts back, post 9 last time, and now post 3. So much easier to get away from that position, Gary.
Well, the field is moving in behind the gate, and right now we have 6 ATS Hanover and 4 Nassau Hanover, both at 2-1. And your top pick, 2 Century Invictus. Rob is at right now on the board at 5-2. So the fans do kind of see it between the 2, 4, and 6. We'll see how this race unfolds, or if none of those 3 come in on top and we get a little boost to the pick 5. Taking up positions, it is Sunshine Love and Century Invictus, and All in Jest on the inside of the center. Nassau Hanover, and unlaced into the outside, ATS Hanover, Aries Shadow, and Supervise the Moment. It's a field of 8. Race number 3, the second grassroots division. Here they come. Field for the third is at the start of the round. Century Invictus and ATS Hanover, Nassau Hanover. Those the first 3. And then Supervise the Moment on the outside as they work their way on into the backstretch. Sunshine Love is 4th right now. Well, now coming on to take over 4th is Supervise the Moment. Sunshine Love is 5th on the inside. Then All in Jest and unlaced as they race on down the backstretch. But right now it is Century Invictus, and James McDonald has got the lead. Nassau Hanover is filling the pocket. ATS Hanover's 3rd away. Then Supervise the Moment is racing 4th, 28-1. Is that opening quarter, 2, 4, 6, 8. The even numbers are on top in that order as they work on around the turn. Sunshine Love is racing position 5, and then it is unlaced and back to All in Jest and Aries Shadow. Up at 28-1 opening quarter. The field comes on towards us. Century Invictus and James McDonald. Nassau Hanover is 2nd. And then ATS Hanover is racing the 3rd and is currently about 3 3/4 from the front. In front of Supervise the Moment. There goes Sunshine Love to the outside of half of 58-1. The trailing 3 unlaced, and then that is back to Aries Shadow and All in Jest. But Century Invictus still has the front and leads it by 2. Nassau Hanover is 2nd. ATS Hanover 3rd, and then to the outside Sunshine Love, and then Supervise the Moment. But it is Century Invictus who's leading, and Nassau Hanover is racing 2nd. ATS Hanover 3rd. Now trying to come on and is going to be about 3 off the lead as they get by 3/4, 127. And then Supervise the Moment and Sunshine Love. It is Century Invictus. Nassau Hanover chasing. And then ATS Hanover is 3rd. On down the stretch ride they come. Century Invictus continues to march sharply to the finish. Century Invictus makes every call a winning one. Then it was Nassau Hanover, ATS Hanover, and Supervise the Moment. 155-2, Century Invictus. Oh, he lived up to your top billing.
Yeah, you know what? As soon as he got to the lead and I saw that second quarter breather, I said this race should be over. I thought that he raced really well last time at Mohawk Park. I know he ended up, disappointing and ended up fading to fourth, but it was still, a solid effort and, a more tempo than he had to produce tonight in that second panel. I'm surprised 9 to 5. I'll be honest. I thought this one would take more support. I think 9 to 5 is a pretty good price on this horse. And sometimes it's nice that a race kind of goes exactly the way you drew it up, Gary.
Yeah, number 4, Nassau Hanover to finish a second, and 6, ATS Hanover. You had the top three, 2, 4, 6. We get all the even numbers, 2, 4, 6, 8. In that order, and actually supervised the moment, left from an outside post, and was still able to stick around after the top three that were getting all the attention on the tote board.
Yeah, definitely. Always impressive when a horse can get away well from post 8 here at Grand River. So might be one to watch for next time. But, I think that Century Invictus was well meant today, and I firmly believe he's one that's going to have a big edge on these half-mile surfaces because he's got a lot of early speed, and he seems like one that might be, built for, the half-mile tracks.
Yeah, we might have to see more from ATS Hanover. Didn't really show the kick going to three quarters when he wasn't able to really sprint up much at all. I thought, okay, he's not going to get there. Actually, 4, Nassau Hanover did a really nice job. It wasn't going to get to 2, Century Invictus, though.
Yeah, definitely not getting to that one, but did chase willingly on the turn. I was impressed with this one. Looked like it might mount a charge, but I think that Century Invictus was just well meant tonight, and I'll certainly not have an issue going to Nassau Hanover next time if he draws an easier division.
It's a 2, 4, 6, 8, the top four on the board, and coming back in front of us is number 2, Century Invictus, a 2-year-old Better's Delight Bay gelding, owned by the stable, trained by Jonathan McKinnon, and the winning drive to James McDonald. 155 and 2 for Century Invictus and James McDonald. The third ranked payouts to Century Invictus, 560, 320, and 220. 4, Nassau Hanover, 350 and 210. And 6, ATS Hanover, 220. $2 exactor, $13.70. Dollar try, $13.25. The dollar super, $145.30. Third race order finish from the tops is 618-253-74. That's 618-253-74.
All right, well, it's time to take a look at race number 4. We've got filly mares now winners of 5,000 life. And please note that number 8, Sporty, will score from the second tier. That's post 9, so don't get confused with that one. And that's where we're going. That's where my top selection is. And really, that's why I'm going there, because I like the fact this one is going to score from the second tier. I don't usually jump on horses to score from there, but the one Stonebridge Crush does have speed off the gate, and I think that number 8 Sporty will use that second tier position to get away well. And last time this filly was first start Joe Pereira. Joe Pereira, bought this horse himself and was training it for the first time last time out. Post 7, got away 7th, and I actually said in the post-race analysis, Sporty is one that I will go back to next time, and I'm not going to go back on that now because I thought she raced really well in her first start for that conditioner, and this might set up nicely with the fact that she's number 8, but she scores from the second tier, probably get an overlay because of that. So I'm going to go to number 8 Sporty here. Sylvain Filion, first time that teamster will be aboard this filly in her career, and I've seen him work wonders with horses in the past. We're having Tierra Dancer in race number 2. And for second, I'm going to number 2, Wasaga, inside post, making the move from Mohawk Park to Grand River Raceway. Jody Jameson drove this one last time at Mohawk Park. He'll be aboard again tonight. I think this horse can get away, decently enough off the gate and get a piece of it. 15-1 on the board is a nice price, especially if you want to use this one in your exotics. In for third, I put number 3, Be Vanish. Do respect what this one's been doing. Third, finished third in her last 2 over at Georgian Downs against decent company. I just think that, I'd rather be on the side of value, and right now it's shaping up that way with the 3, Be Vanish being 8-5 and Sporty being 5-1, with a few of those factors I mentioned earlier going in that one's favor. And then in for fourth, I put number 1, Stonebridge Crush. I think this is one you need to consider. Last time, faced, a tougher group really at Hanover. Only got beat ahead, finished third, had a big lead in the stretch before giving it up late. And, raced pretty well here too, finishing third in all 3 of her efforts this year. I think that, Stonebridge Crush is one you need to have on your ticket, but for me will be more of a minor player because I really like Sporty, and I'm liking the price right now at 5-1. So I'm sticking with her on top. Hopefully Sylvain Philly can work out a trip from the second tier, but we'll come back and look at this race a little closer with Gary Guy after the post break.
Field for the fourth on Parade 1, Stonebridge Crush. It's Natasha Day for Julie Walker and Jennifer Armstrong. Number 2 was Sega Jody Jameson for Les Posen. And 3 is Be Vanish. It's Chris Christopher for Murray Breather and Doug Millard and Barry McLennan. Number 4 is Shorty's Girl, Austin Sorry for Murray Breather and Knobloch Racing. Number 5 is Best Kept Secret, Scott Kohler for Sean Hyatt and John Bell. And number 6, Just Crazy Enough. Dave Duncan for Brenda Duncan. Number 7, Scottish Cheddar. Drew Neal for Daniel Meade. And number 8 is Sporty. Sylvain Filion for Joe Pereira. And note, scores from the trailer post. It's a field of 8, race number 4. We'll take a look at this field, and right now the favorite is number 3, Be Vanish. Now, I know that you love Sporty in here, but I'm flush with respect for Be Vanish in here off those 2 lines at Georgian Downs. And that June 19th race, also note that Be Vanish was third to Stiletto Blue Chip, who's come back to win since, and Stiletto Blue Chip has been really good. Be Vanish, you get Chris Christoforou. This one got off the gate nicely last time out as well to finish third, beaten 4.25, Rob.
Yeah, I was definitely impressed with this one. Finished third in her last 2, and both efforts were solid in my opinion. I thought she would get bet down to be the favorite, and I just think that there might be more of a reason to improve for number 8, Sporty. So I was thinking, what, if I can get the bigger price on Sporty, that's where I'll go. And you know how much I like, Gary, when there's kind of a discrepancy sometimes in the program where, we're informing everyone this horse goes from post 9, but with ticket number 8, sometimes, you can get a positive ROI situation.
Well, you won't get a positive ROI on 3B Vanish if it wins and stays at that price. This Bettor's Delight Filly 3-2. But there is number 8, Sporty. Sylvain Filion looking to make it third win on the night already.
Yeah, I have no problem going to Sylvain, in any situation. This is the first time that he's going to sit behind this filly, and I liked what I saw last time. First start for Joe Pereira, 7-hole, no real chance, to get away well. Went overland, got interfered with, and was a ways back, still finishing 4th. But Patina Sealster was a rock solid winner on that occasion. I just think this filly has a reason to improve, and at 4-1, I think that's a rock solid price on this one.
And also, we should note is making an equipment change, blind bridle to blinkers, which may have something to do with what they expect from the trip as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that we might see a more aggressive version of Sporty. She's got to work from that trailing post, but the good news is she does have speed in front of her, and that's the rare times that I'll go and put a horse from the trailing post on top.
Well, speed in front of her is Stonebridge Crush that day, just off a very successful weekend at Hanover, and Stonebridge Crush does have that gate speed and is one that raced very well at Hanover last time out, July the 10th, and has been able to hit the ticket in each of 3. Stonebridge Crush and Natasha Day, 7-2.
Yeah, 7-2 in this one. I thought, we might see more support for Stonebridge Crest. My big issue with this one is just finishing out the mile last time. I thought that when I watched that race live, I was positive she was going to be an easy winner, and she gave it up late. 31-2 last quarter. Kind of a concern for me, but I think she's definitely one that you need to use on the ticket. She can land really in any position, I think, from the pole position. So 7-2 is probably a good price, and I've got to like this one. And if I didn't like this one, I wouldn't like number 8, Sporty. So,
well, one that I did like that you haven't is number 7, Scottish Cheddar. We had Scottish Cheddar on the screen, and yeah, this one raced from the trailer post at the end of June. Only 5th, but I thought it was a reasonably good effort because it did a lot of work in that one and was okay at Rideau Carlton for a good chunk of that race. Tailed off a little bit in the late going, but the first 3 quarters were very snug. Scottish Cheddar, you get 14-1. There's 5, Best Kept Secret in the Scotty Coulter, one that's had 3 starts and raced at Dresden on a track that was off a couple seconds last time. Oh, trailer post for Best Kept Secret as well. Scotty Coulter.
Yeah, nose on the gate today, so that could certainly be a positive. 25-1, I'd have no issue using this mare somewhere underneath. She might be able to add some value to the bottom end of the exotics, that's for sure.
Well, we do have a field of 8. Note that number 8, Sporty, will score from the trailer post and the equipment change, blind bridle to blinkers. But right now, number 3, Be Vanish. As I mentioned, I'm flush with respect for this one, but you're taking a more sporty price at 4-1 on number 8, Sporty, from the trailer post, Rob.
Yeah, absolutely. At 4-1, I think Gary is the right price and then some. I thought we'd get close to the morning line of maybe 3-1 or 5-2 on this one. Obviously, Be Vanish taking all the support right now at 8-5, but I like the equipment change. I like the connections. I'll stick with Sporty, especially at 4-1.
Well, I might as well ride my B Vanish and see if that can work out. But the field for the fourth race is taking up their position. Stonebridge Crush, Wasaga, and B Vanish on the inside. In the center is Shorty's Girl and Best Kept Secret to the outside. She's crazy enough. And Scottish Cheddar, the second tier. Sporty. Field of 8. Race number 4 on a Monday night at Grand River Raceway. It's post time. Field for the fourth. In the stretch, gathering speed. There at the start of the rough, and B Vanish and Stonebridge Crush down to the inside. Wasaga is surfing along in third. Then Sporty from the second tier. Then it is back to Shorty's Girl and Best Kept Secret. Just crazy enough. And then Scottish Cheddar is trailing the field. And right now it is B Vanish, but quickly popping comes Wasaga. And Wasaga wants to drive up on the outside and come on and grab the lead from B Vanish with Stonebridge Crush racing third. And then fourth is Sporty, who's moving up in the action now and is about 5 off the lead of Wasaga and Double J. Fifth is Shorty's Girl, and then it is back to Best Kept Secret, and just crazy enough, and Scottish Cheddar off a 28-1 opening quarter. The field races around the turn. Wasaga and Double J's got a lead of a couple of lengths right now, where B Vanish, and then Stonebridge Crush is racing third. Fourth in line is Sporty. In front of Shorty's Girl. They roll off the turn. They come on towards us. And then it is back to Best Kept Secret. Just crazy enough in Scottish Cheddar. Wasaga on past the half they go. 59-2. Gets a breather of a 31-1 second panel. And Wasaga into the backstretch. B Vanish is second. Now Sporty's moving on the outside. Stonebridge Crush is on the inside. And there goes Shorty's Girl now. And is moving on the back of Sporty. And Sporty's coming alongside Wasaga. And Sporty is moving up now and taking the lead from Wasaga. Shorty's Girl is racing fourth. They race on towards three quarters, but now popping up from third comes B Vanish. It is Sporty who's trying to clear to the lead over Wasaga. And on the outside, it is Sporty. Wasaga on the inside as they race on that final turn. Three quarters, 128-3. And B Vanish is third. And is closing now, trying to call her Sporty. It is Sporty. B Vanish as they turn from and Wasaga. Then Stonebridge Crush and Shorty's Girl. And down the stretch drive they come. And Sporty. Sporty is game up the inside. Wasaga, Sporty, and B Vanish. Close. B Vanish and Sporty in a tight wind photo. Wasaga was third. And Stonebridge Crush was fourth, 157-4. Rob, we might need to have a look at the photo. I think it's fairly close.
Yeah, it looks pretty close. I was feeling pretty good about myself, and then, had some heart palpitations late there. I don't know. We'll see, Gary. I thought Sporty was home and cool, so to speak, but it gets really close late. I'm not sure.
Just on that first quick shot, I thought maybe that B Vanish got by, and that's the one that I did call the way that I call it at the finish, but certainly hedging my bets, because I think when we see this slow-mo, it's going to be pretty darn tight. And actually, there was Wasaga staying very game, almost coming back on the inside as well.
Yeah, definitely. It was a real tight finish to the wire, and it's the three that I use as my top three, but I need number 8 Sporty. Let's see here. Ooh, that's real tight. That is tight.
Kind of looked like you might have held on as they advanced it a little bit forward.
My camera guy's up with the winner.
And the photo goes to number 8, Sporty, and Sylvain Filion, 157-4. And Rob, well, we had to withstand looking at the photo, but really solid effort.
Yeah, definitely. That was what I was expecting out of this one, and that's what I said, right? I was expecting, 5-2 or 3-1. We ended up getting 5-2, but I love this one tonight, Gary. I hope I made that pretty clear to everyone, and I just thought that this horse had a license to improve, and we saw a big improvement from Sporty tonight.
Yeah, it's 8 Sporty, 3 B Vanish, and 2 Wasaga. They were really close to the finish, especially 8 and 3. 1 Stonebridge Crush. The inside post did the work early and stuck around for fourth. There is number 8 Sporty. Sylvain Filion winning with this sports writer 3-year-old bay filly. Joe Pereira trains and owns. It's the first win for Sporty. 157 and 4. Note the driving hat trick for Sylvain Fillion. The fourth race payout, number 8 Sporty, 790, 340, 230. 3B Vanish, 310, 260, and 2 was Sega, 290. $2 exactor, $25, $30 try, 45, rather $44, $50 super, 157.25. the fourth race or finish from the top. 432 56871. That's 432 56871.
All right, folks, time to look at race number 5. It is the start of the pick 3. It's the money leg of the pick 5. Gary and I are both alive on our tickets. Number 1, Lions Pride, would give us enough to get a coffee and donut in our profit on the way home. But number 8, My Blueberry Buck, would be a better result, almost quadrupling our money. But, Gary's cheering for the 2 Almost There Boss, paying $120 for a 20-cent ticket. And I'm cheering for number 6, Highborn, paying $152 for a 20-cent ticket. So some nice possibilities there. This is the third division of the OSS Grassroots for 2-year-old colts and geldings on the pace. And while I did go to that outside post, I don't usually do it, but I'm a big fan of number 8, My Blueberry Buck, and the connections as well. Nick Gallucci, James McDonald from Millar Farms, and this one was a rock-solid winner here on June the 30th. Open-length winner over this service from Post 2. Then at Mohawk Park in a division of the Grassroots last time, got away with the lead from Post 9 and finished second to Colby Two-Step, who then went on to race well at the gold level. I know it's Post 8. I hate Post 8, but we got James McDonald. I think he can work out a winning trip for My Blueberry Buck. I think he might be the best horse in this race, pound for pound, and I'm going to side with him on top. For second, I went to number 1, Lions Pride. Solid connections as well, and this one did finish third, beating only 3/4 of a length in an OSS Grassroots race at Mohawk Park on July 9th. And, Sylvain Fillion's looking for the Grand Slam already. He's looking to win for the first 5 tonight, so you can't really side against Sylvain. And this one certainly has a big chance, especially from that pole position. In for third, I went to number 6, Highborn. I just thought this one raced pretty well last time. Got away 8th at Mohawk Park in that Grassroots race in his first start north of the border. Closed well after an overland journey. Came home in 55-4, 27 seconds last quarter. I just wanted to have this one on my pick 5 ticket, and I wanted to have this one in my exotics. I just wouldn't be surprised if this one stepped up big time tonight for trainer Greg McNair and driver Chris Christoforou. Post 6 is not easy, but I think this one has a license to improve. Got bet down to 4-1 last time. Actually, we'll call it 7-2, but either way, this horse took live money, and I think you want to have this one underneath tonight for sure, especially at 13-1. Then I went to number 2, Almost There Boss. Thought this one raced well enough when he finished third in the Grassroots event on July 9th at Mohawk Park. So, me and Gary kind of see it similarly this race, but I am going to stick with my top selection, number 8, My Blueberry Buck. But I am cheering for number 6, Highborn, because that gives us a big score in that pick 5 wager, paying $152 for just 20 cents. But we'll come back and talk about this race a little further with Gary Guy after the post parade.
Field for the fifth on parade. 1 Lions Pride. Sylvan Filion for Anthony Beaton and 3 Lions Racing. Number 2, Almost There Boss. Travis Henry for Harry Polton of the stable. Number 3 is Last Call Jerome. Natasha Day for Teresa Stokes and Ruth Moore and James Hasty. And 4 is Sugar Daddy Controls. Anthony Hahn for Dan Legacy and Ben Boudry. 5 is Wildcat Rocky. Steve Byron for Dale Hurd and Wildcat Stables and Tony Tangretta. And number 6, Highborn. Chris Christoforou for Greg McNair and Anatolia Racing. And number 7, Sports Fan. Jody Jamison for Blake McIntosh and Leanne Murphy. And Stuart McIntosh. And number 8 is My Blueberry Buck. James McDonough for Nick Galucci and Miller Farms. It's a field of 8. Race 5, 3rd Grassroots Division. Start of the Pick 3. And also the final leg of the Pick 5. And we're going to start right with number 8, My Blueberry Buck. James McDonald, Nick Galucci on fire. They scored the early double in the Golds at Georgian Downs last night. And looking to romp here. Both of them have been putting up some strong numbers, but it's the post position 8 problem right now that you were willing to accept at 5-2.
Yeah, I don't usually do that either, Gary. And this horse looks really sharp on the track right now for James McDonald. And we saw this one on June the 30th, and I loved that debut performance. And obviously it was against easier, but came back, finished second to Colby two-step last time at 15-1 from post 9. I think that, this horse can either do it on or near the lead or maybe from off the pace as well. I think this is a pretty nice gelding.
Well, it's My Blueberry Buck and James McDonald. I love the connections. I was scared off by the post position, and now I love the fact that both Kenny and you have the 8 on top and I have the 1 because, you're up 4-1 on me, and I only have 3 different the rest of the card, the next 3 races. It's all over if I don't get this one, but I do have Sylvan Filion with 1 Lions Pride. And gets a better post position and did finish the mile really nicely with a 27-1 final quarter. Lions Pride just a second career start, now bet 9-5 as the favorite.
Yeah, I struggle to take the short price on this one. I thought the effort was good last time. I'll be honest, I wasn't crazy about this colt going into that effort because I wasn't sold on him in the qualifiers, but he certainly raced well in his lifetime debut, so he definitely bumped up in my rankings after that effort. 27-1 final quarter. Looks good right now, scoring down for Sylvan Filion with the pole position. I think we know where he's going to try to go. I just think 3-2, for me, too short of a price, and it might get shorter come post time.
Well, not a bad price in the pick 5, considering the 3-2. Number 6, Highborn, though, is the one that you want in the pick 5. And right now, 7-1 on the win price, but also you mentioned what the pick 5 price is. Now, 3 starts without a top 3, but finished sharply last time out at Mohawk.
Yeah, I liked that effort last time, and that's why I put this one on the ticket. I was going to go 4 deep and use your 2 horse that you're cheering for here, but I decided, I'll try to be economical. But I just thought this horse, closed really well and might have a license to improve here. Stone Carver came back to race reasonably well tonight. Stonebridge Helios raced well in his next start. So, I don't know. I think Highborn is worth a flyer, and I like the fact that he's taking some money on the board right now at 7-1.
Number 2, Almost There Boss. I should tell you, not only do I want this one to win here, but I'm a little bit mean-spirited in it. Your top 5, the pick 5, was your top horse in each of the first 4 legs, and I only had 1. And yet if I get it with 2 Almost There Boss, I get the pick 5, and you don't have it, knock you out. Just a little meanness, I think, on my part. My God, Gary.
You see, but Gary, you're trying to be mean, and I'm a team player. If Almost There Boss is close, I'd rather you get a big price down than us get one of the short ones down with Lions Pride or My Blueberry Buck. So, you can be mean all you want, but I'll be a team player, and I'll cheer for you if you're close.
Well, I think the reason why I'm mean on this is because deep down, I know that you're the better handicapper than I am. So I just want a chance at a little redemption here in this spot. Also, I should note that Almost There Boss was 3rd in behind My Blueberry Buck, who was 2nd in that last start. So there's a good reference point there and the post position, and you do see some gate speed as well.
Yeah, definitely. When I looked at this one and put him in the fourth spot, it was exactly that. Might get away well off the gate, inside posts, good form reference, Colby two-step, and My Blueberry Buck. Better post, though, than My Blueberry Buck this time, obviously. So I certainly thought this one had a big chance, and this horse took a lot of early money. Was the favorite throughout the early betting, so I'm curious to see if maybe he's going to be handled more aggressively tonight.
Okay, I'll pretend that I'm cheering for you here in this fifth race with number 8, My Blueberry Buck. I am also always cheering for James McDonald as well as cheering for you here. And number 1, Lion's Pride, is even money on the board. Is the favorite as we have a field of 8 moving in behind the 8. The third grassroots division. It is Lion's Pride on the inside with Almost Their Boss and Last Call Jerome in the center. Sugar Daddy Controls and Wildcat Rocky to the outside. Highborn Sports Fan and My Blueberry Buck. Field of 8, race number 5. It is the third grassroots division. The field for race number 5 is approaching the stretch drive. They're all in position. Here they come. And the field for the fifth race is at the start, and Lion's Pride made a bobble but recovers down to the inside. My Blueberry Buck is going to charge on the outside, and then along to the inside is Almost Their Boss in racing third. Last Call Jerome, but My Blueberry Buck from post position 8 is going to drive up and take the lead and clear to the front. Almost Their Boss is second. Last Call Jerome is third, and Sugar Daddy Controls is controlling fourth, and then Lion's Pride recovered from that early bobble to be fifth. And then it is Highborn. Then it is back to Wildcat Rocky and Sports Fan. And they work their way on past the opening quarter in 28 seconds. And it is My Blueberry Buck who's got the lead. Almost Their Boss sits in the pocket. Last Call Jerome is a third, about 3 lengths off the lead. And then Sugar Daddy Controls is fourth, and Lion's Pride is racing fifth as they come on towards us. Then it is back to Highborn, Wildcat Rocky, and Sports Fan. But it's My Blueberry Buck as they race on past the half. And halftime was reached in 58-1, a 30-1 second panel breather. They work their way into the backstretch, and it is My Blueberry Buck, but Almost Their Boss is right there in the pocket. Last Call Jerome is racing third. Lion's Pride is trying to make a recovery from an early break and is charging to the outside now. And is moved up to take over third. Now Last Call Jerome is racing fourth. Then Sugar Daddy Controls in Highborn. And then it is back to Wildcat Rocky and Sports Fan. My Blueberry Buck. Almost Their Boss has been getting the trip, and Lion's Pride on the outside is racing third. Last Call Jerome. And here comes Highborn now charging 3 wide. 3/4, 127-1. And it is My Blueberry Buck on the inside. Almost Their Boss is looking for the passing lane. And then it is Highborn and Lion's Pride. They come on down the stretch drive. My Blueberry Buck as they go on down the lane. They're not getting to My Blueberry Buck, who wins it. And then Lion's Pride was second. Highborn was third. And then it looked like Last Call Jerome 156 flat for My Blueberry Buck. Note the inquiry sign pertaining to that early break of one Lion's Pride.
Well, Gary, again, I'm going to say it again. Sometimes it goes the way you draw it up. I thought My Blueberry Buck could get to the lead off the gate, and James McDonald figured that out, got there, and ended up being much the best in my opinion. And somehow I end up with another cold try. But man, oh man, did I get excited with Highborn there. I thought that we might get a big pick 5 down when he made the move on the last turn.
Well, I should say also that I'm so very, very happy for you that number 8, My Blueberry Buck, was able to get the win. I just wanted to throw that in. The inquiry sent up pertaining to one Lion's Pride. My Blueberry Buck dug in so nicely to finish that any thought that I had that one of the others would beat My Blueberry Buck was long gone when I saw him dig.
Yeah, and this was the best result for us, to both be winners. Now we get to both raise our arms in victory, and we don't just double our money this time. We almost quadruple it, enough to buy lunch tomorrow anyways. So not the worst result in the world. Listen, this horse has impressed me in every start, and I had confidence in James McDonald tonight to find a way to work out the right trip And Lions Pride, definitely a nice recovery to finish second, and Highborn, one that's going to, I think, continue to improve and one to watch for next time.
Also, kudos to Nick Gallucci. His horses have come out really ready to rock and roll. They have been sharp on the track.
Oh, definitely. He's got a whole army right now of young ones for Millar Farms that are just sharp as a tack out there. And I'll be honest, every time I open an OSS page, whether it be grassroots or golds, I see the names in the program, and they're racing fantastic. So awesome job by them to have these ones ready to roll and at the level that they're performing at right now.
Well, Rob, you get the pick 5, but you also show off there with the Superfecta straight. 8-1-6-2, just to cap off, taking all 5 on top, with your top pick taking the pick 5. And back in front of us, number 8, My Blueberry Buck, 2-year-old Thinking Out Loud by Geldingle by Miller Farms, trained by Nick Gallucci. James McDonald, the winning driver. It is a mile of 156 flat for My Blueberry Buck. Also should note that it is the driving double on the evening for James McDonald. Note the inquiry picture will be coming out as the judges were reviewing the start of one Lions Pride, where Lions Pride made an early break. And there is a look at the start. And fans note the judges ruling that one Lions Pride did not violate the braking regulations. The 5th race of payouts, number 8, My Blueberry Buck, 9, 10, 270, and 260. 1 Lions Pride, 220, 210, 6 Highborn, 590, $2 exact or $18.30. Dollar try, $36.40. Dollar super effective, $99.90. The fifth race rundown from the top 245 87361. That's 245 87361. The sixth race is up next, featuring the Super High Five. Post time is in 7 minutes. And just a note, we have a guest handicapper this evening that wrote the journal in the front of the program. Conley Ecclestone is doing the heavy lifting and doing a fine job. Conley Ecclestone is the one that we have posted for Ontario Racing this evening, along with our expert Robert Reed Jr.
All right, well, we've had some luck tonight, folks. And now we're at race number 6, and it's time for my favorite wagers, the Super High Five. For just 20 cents, you can win a lot of money. We've seen some ones pay hefty amounts so far this meet. This is a claiming event for Philly Mares. $7,000 on the pace. And, well, the price of poker is going to go up here if I want to keep the streak alive, because I knew I was going searching in this one and looking for some price horses. I went to number 4, Show Me Some Magic on top, coming over from Kawartha Downs. And when I do see a lot of condition claiming types, I want to go to the horses that have been racing in open claiming ranks. And this horse has been racing in open claiming ranks and was a winner 2 starts back at Kawartha Downs, going overland to win by a neck. And last time faced off against Pickles on Top, who was a dominant winner there. I saw that race, and Pickles on Top, won by as much as she pleased. So I'm going to go to number 4, Show Me Some Magic. And I'm lone wolfing it, I see there on top. And, 7-1 is a price that I'd accept on that one. I do think this is a wide open event. I went to number 5, Dream a Dream for Me in second. First start, Bernard Wills. And, I think this one has been racing, reasonably well over at Georgian Downs, and, might be able to, maybe improve off those last couple efforts and step up her game. 9-2 in the board right now. I don't think that's a bad price on that one. We would hope for a little bit more, though, to be honest. Number 2, Midnight Surf, inside post. You get Jody Jameson tonight. That certainly never hurts a horse's chances. And last time got away 8th off the gate at Hanover, and made up, a lot of ground, even though did not, do better than 6th. But that was a pretty decent field. in a 7-claimer that was actually against the boys as well, not just an open 7-claimer, but one against the boys. So Midnight Surf is one that I think you have to consider, especially from that inside post. And then I went to the trailing post, number 9, right now at 9-5, too short of a price for me right now. Number 9, One More Girl, but definitely one you need to look at. Has been racing well enough, and 2 starts back against Vines to Heaven. Vines to Heaven would be an overwhelming favorite in here. And then I went to the outside of the gate, If You Knew Susie. I just couldn't put this one on top. I think she's a very nice mare, but last time an outside post wreaked havoc with her chances, and I think the same might happen again tonight from post 8. 6-1 on the board. I can't go to this one, but the horses are coming out on the track. Race number 6 is Super High 5. We'll come back and talk about it a little further with Gary Guy after the post parade.
Field for the 6th on parade. 1, Ezra Express. It's Travis Henry for Jeremy Brewer. Number 2, Midnight Surf, Jody Jamison for Todd Ratchford and ECS Racing. Number 3, Edam's Alley, Brad McDonald for Taylor Fritz and Brad McDonald. And number 4, Show Me Some Magic, Nick Boyd for Bruce Cleaver. Number 5, Dream a Dream for me, Anthony Hahn for Bernard Wills. And 6 is Ask for Me, Child Moore for Ruth Moore and James Hasty. Number 7, Lady Oxford, Austin Surrey for Craig Gilmore and Eden Bosniak. And 8 is If You Knew Susie, Colin Keller for Kyle Bostons and Daryl Newbigging. Number 9, One More Girl, Eddie Hensley for Ashley Hensley. Field of 9, race number 6. It does feature the Super High 5, so we'll move through these fairly quickly. And, well, I guess we're going to start first with Rob's top pick. Why not, when Rob's sitting on a streak of 5 in a row? And Rob, well, you're all alone. You're lone wolfing it with 4, Show Me Some Magic. But I'll tell you that win at Kawartha 2 races ago certainly makes a good argument. And that last race at Kawartha, didn't finish all that well. But look, the barn's been really good this year.
Yeah, I think I like the connections, and the win 2 starts back was a good one. And last time, I can kind of cross a line through it, because if you look at the fractions, Gary, 56-4, 125 3/4. I know she was way out of it, but Pickles on Top was a dominant winner in that contest. So sometimes you just have to say, I'm going to throw that one out. And if you kind of look at her form line, she kind of, comes back with a better effort every time she throws in, a subpar performance. And I just looked at this one and said, this looks like a wide open event. I want to be on a price, or at least something that's going to pay 6 or 7-1. 7-1 right now, Show Me Some Magic. I wouldn't mind taking a swing at that, Lumber.
Well, you certainly are on a price against the favorite at 5-2. You get 7-1. Number 5, Dream a Dream for me. Well, no wins in 5 this year, but did win a couple of times last year. Won at Georgian 54 and 4 Mile was good to win at Georgian last year, but will need to step it up. Does have some gate speed, though.
Yeah, I think the gate speed is one of the appeals for me. I don't know if this one's going to be pointed to the lead, but somewhere forwardly placed, and looks good on the track right now. Ears up, looks attentive, and I just looked for a horse that might be able to improve, and off a change of scenery, maybe she can step up her game and come up with a better performance. 7-2 is a little shorter than I was hoping for. Now 4-1, but I certainly think that again, you don't want to be on a favorite in this race.
There's number 2, Midnight Surf, and Jody Jamison, and well, this one didn't race well here 2 starts ago, or the 1-3 back, but that one at Hanover came from way back early to be beaten only 2 1/4.
Yeah, that was a decent feel too. Moramapo's, a mare, but there was some Colts and Geldings in that race too. It was an open 7-claimer, and I always like zeroing in on the ones that have been racing in open company, not the condition company. This is one of them. I'm actually a little bit shocked that with Jody Jamison aboard tonight, this horse isn't taking more support. I actually thought this horse would be the favorite, and that's why I was trying to beat this one, Midnight Surf. Now it's starting to correct itself, I think, down to 3-1. I still think this one deserves to be the favorite, Midnight Surf.
You know, the one that I thought might be the favorite is number 9, One More Girl. Now, this is a wide open dash, and the tote board is telling that story. But you get Eddie Hensley, Ashley Hensley. This one moved down in class again. Last time out at Georgian Downs, had been dropping over the last couple of starts. It was a much better outing. Did tail off in the late going, but certainly fired. The question mark will be, how does this one get off the gate from the trailer post? But I love the connections.
Yeah, definitely. The connections are ones that we see come over here and find easier spots and generally walk away with some really nice victories. That's for sure. And I was kind of concerned with the 1 for 25 over the last 2 seasons, but a lot of the horses in this race are camera shy. Trailing posts in here, it can work out 7-1 now. I mean, wow, that price, you can certainly take a swing on One More Girl, that's for sure. If you go back to her efforts 2 and 3 back, I mean, you would say, wow, this should really work out coming into this level, because those horses would all be, massive favorites against this group.
You know, one that I thought would take more money is Edom Zelli, because you do see this one showing good form at Freehold and then raced June the 7th. But now that's been, 6 weeks. But Taylor Fritz holds some nice numbers, and Edom Zelli can leave.
Yeah, definitely. You know what? If that horse, was in, on a regular schedule, I think Edom Zelli would be in my top 3. That's for sure.
Field 4, race number 6, taking up their positions. Ezra Express, Midnight Surf, and Edom Zelli on the inside. In the center, Show Me Some Magic, Dream a Dream for Me. On the outside, Ask for Me, Lady Oxford, and If You Knew Susie. In the second tier, One More Girl. It is a field of 9, race number 6, top of the stretch. Here they come, and Ezra Express has made a break. And driving first is Edom Zelli. Edom Zelli gets out well. Dream a Dream for Me and Ask for Me. And If You Knew Susie on the outside, they drive around that first turn. And Edom Zelli, and now coming on to get the lead, is Dream a Dream for Me. Edom Zelli is second away. Ask for Me is third. Then down to the inside, racing for his Midnight Surf. Then If You Knew Susie. One More Girl gets away, racing position to 6th right now. And then it is back to Show Me Some Magic and Lady Oxford. And they race on to the opening quarter. Dream a Dream for Me has the lead as they race past that opening quarter in 28-2. Edom Zelli is forwardly placed second. Ask for Me is third. And then racing positioned 4th. Around the turn is Midnight Surf. Now moving comes Show Me Some Magic, rolling on the outside. Along to the inside, If You Knew Susie working in front of One More Girl, and then Lady Oxford. The field heads up towards the half. Dream a Dream for Me and Anthony Hahn has a lead of about 2 1/4. Edom Zelli is racing second. Ask for Me, Midnight Surf now is getting up closer. And then coming to the outside now is Show Me Some Magic as they work on into the backstretch. Show Me Some Magic is advancing second over and is about to take over 4th. Ask for Me is 5th on the inside. Then it's If You Knew Susie and Lady Oxford, and One More Girl has got 7 to pass to win. And now Midnight Surf has come on the outside. Midnight Surf has taken over from Dream a Dream for Me, and Show Me Some Magic is racing third, and Edom Zelli is on the inside racing for 3/4, 127-2. Ask for Me is 5th, but right now it is Midnight Surf trying to put away Dream a Dream for Me, who's hanging tough, and Edom Zelli made a break in stride and impacts If You Knew Susie as well. 3/4, 127-2. It is Midnight Surf and Dream a Dream for Me and Show Me Some Magic looking for the passing lane. On down the stretch route they come. Midnight Surf and Dream a Dream for Me. Dream a Dream for Me was able to turn back all challengers. Midnight Surf was second. Then it was Show Me Some Magic racing third at the finish, and Ask for Me and One More Girl, 157-2. Dream a Dream for Me was able to just keep on trucking. That was a sharp performance with Anthony Hahn in the bank.
Yeah, definitely. It's what we were kind of looking at, and I wasn't sure if this one could get away with the lead, but certainly she did. And, looking for one on here. When I put this horse for second, obviously now I'm regretting that. Wish we could have kept the streak alive, but at least all the horses have now been in the top 2 for me tonight. I just thought that I wanted to be with ones that, had a reason to improve, and that's what I thought with this one. And wow, did she ever improve. Nice victory there for Dream a Dream for Me.
We should mention that the judges looking at the start just pertaining to one Ezra Express, and might have impacted 9 One More Girl from the second tier. We'll see how that unfolds in terms of the inquiry, but we don't need to inquire into the winner because we saw that this one is really good in this race.
Yeah, definitely. And Midnight Surf, nice effort. First over there, finished second, and it was interesting because I thought that one would actually, be the favorite, and ended up playing out that way down to 9-5. And I didn't want to be on the favorite in this race, but still a solid effort for Midnight Surf to go first over and land there. And my top choice, Show Me Some Magic, followed that one, and I was hoping to coat the passing there with some pace late, but still raced a reasonably well third there.
Yeah, there is your top three. You had it 4-5-2, but still it's a very respectable 5-2-4 to keep the strong night of handicapping going. Number 6, Ask For Me. We didn't talk about this one, but 60-1 to help the superfecta pay. And then for the super high five, number 9, One More Girl, didn't fire nearly the way I'd expected. 6-1.
No, but this is going to pay great, Gary. I'm pretty sure getting that Ask For Me at 60-1 on the ticket, that's for sure.
Back in front of us is the 6th race winner, number 5, Dream a Dream For Me, a 4-year-old better than Cheddar Bay mare, owned by Evangelos Toutsis. Bernard Wills is the trainer. Anthony Hahn, victorious first win for Dream a Dream For Me this year, and the 5th lifetime, 157-2. Note once again the judges reviewing the start pertaining to 1 Ezra Express and 9 One More Girl to see if 9 One More Girl received a fair start. Note that the judges ruling that 9 One More Girl did receive a fair start. No violations. The inquiry sign will go down. The 6th race payouts. 5 Dream a Dream For Me, $11, 510, 360. 2 Midnight Surf, $4 and 270, and 4 Show Me Some Magic, 350. High five carryover into the final dash, 3,189.49. $2 exactor, 32.10. Dollar try, 75.70, and the win for on a dollar ticket, 347.85. The sixth race order finish from the top is a 928-314-675. That is 928-314-675.
All right, folks. Well, I'm excited, and not just because we've had some luck tonight, but now we've also got a carryover into race number 11. Our super high five is going to have $3,189 going into it. So start, thinking about that race and maybe mapping out some tickets because there's going to be some massive payout potential. But let's take a look at race number 7. It is the 4th division of the OSS Grassroots for 2-year-old colts and geldings on the pace. And, well, I did go to number 2, Google My Chrome. This one last time at Mohawk Park did fade to finish 4th in the stretch. But, again, we're going to say these names a lot. Colby Two-Step was the winner of that event. My Blueberry Buck was 2nd. And Almost a Boss was 3rd. We saw those ones race earlier. My Blueberry Buck was an easy winner. Almost a Boss did finish in 4th. And I just think that, that might be a key race coming out of that one. Post 8. On that occasion, left out well to get the 2-hole early. Now post 2 on the shorter track tonight. I like the way this one was a winner 2 back as well. In the no-winners a 1 for 2-year-olds. So I'm going to stick with number 2, Google My Chrome at 3-1. I think that price is a decent one. And for second, I went number 3, West is Best. This Bob McIntosh pupil was a decent 5th place finish in his first start of his career, coming out of that same race as number 2, Google My Chrome. Finished just a length off that one at the wire, so not much separating these two, but I do like Google My Chrome a little bit more than that one. 5-2 and 3-1 seem like the right prices right now. And for 30, I went to Sports Section, trained by Jared Bako, driven tonight by Colin Kelly. And, well, this one did start off in the gold, so the connections thought enough of this 2-year-old by Sports Writer to put him in the golds to start off with, and he did, leave out well early, got hooked up in a bit of an early battle before fading to finish 7th against, well, the best horse in the division, in my opinion. Better Have My Money. So Sports Section is one you want to take seriously. I just don't always like to jump on the ones that are coming out of the golds, show, getting beaten by wide margins, and then they take a lot of money because, they've been facing tougher. But I did put this horse in for 3rd, number 5, Sports Section, and this horse does warrant a long look. And then in for 4th, I went to number 1, Dr. BB, another Greg McNair pupil that I do like at a longer price, 16-1. rail control. Did close well enough against Older Horse at Hanover in his lifetime debut, and I think this one can land on the bottom end of the trifecta or superfecta ticket. But they're coming out on the track, and we'll come back very shortly to talk about this race a little further with Gary Guy after the post break.
Field for the 7th on parade. 1, Dr. Beebe, Chris Christoforou for Greg McNair and Howard Taylor. Number 2 is Gulumai Chrome, Jody Jamieson for Blake McIntosh and Princeton Farms and Vaco Pajunin. And 3 is West is Best, Austin Sorry for Bob McIntosh and CSX Stables and Al McIntosh. Number 4 is Master Fencer, Brent Padana for Vic Putty and a numbered company Mike Horwood. And number 5 is Sports Section Colin Kelly for Jared Bako and Dale Kerr. Number 6, Southwind Pharaoh, Scott Young for Mike Keeling and Camelot Stables and Dreamville Stable and the Bay Stable. And Richard Gutnick. Number 7, Shadow Moon Rising, Tullamore for Dr. Ian Moore and RG McGroup Limited and Serge Savard and Hudson Standardbreds. And number 8 is Noble Intentions, Mark McKinnon for Common and Robert Burgess. Field of 8, race 7, the 4th Grassroots Division. Let's get a look at this field, and right away we're going to start with a look at number 2, Google My Chrome, and is on the board right now at even money. Rob, you mentioned that race, the last one, as being a key race, but also if you look at that non-winners of 1 July the 2nd, finished in front of Stone Carver and ATS Hanover. We saw those earlier in the evening, and those two measure up very well. And Google My Chrome flashed the gate speed and got the lead before the half. So there's lots to like with Google My Chrome. Could be a really shiny one in here.
Yeah, definitely, and I like the fact that, post 2, so gets a big edge on a lot of the other contenders in the race. I think that, this one has shown nice, speed off the gate in both of his career efforts, and the qualifiers were strong too. He did get beat by Sports Section in their qualifier on June 25th, but there's no money in the mornings, right? So I don't think this horse is even close to fully extended on that occasion. And James McDonald, that's never his MO in a qualifier. So I like this one, 6-5. Tough pill to swallow, but I'm not going to change the fact that he is my top selection in the race.
One that you have picked second and is 5-1 on the board. West is Best. Austin Sorry for Bob McIntosh. We've kind of liked some things with Austin Sorry of what we've seen here during this meet. This one was 5th in that Grassroots, but as you mentioned, that's the race that My Blueberry Buck was second and also was right in behind Google My Chrome. West is Best. We'll see if this one can leave. Do you expect this one to flash a little more gate speed?
I think so. I mean, really, from post 3, all he has to do is kind of just, maintain position off the gate and then get to the pylons. And we've seen Austin Sorry do well with Bob McIntosh horses, and I think this horse has the license to improve. And we've been saying that a lot tonight, and we've seen horses go out there and prove it on the track. Very small margin between this one and Google My Chrome out of their last, and the odds are starting to tighten up now, and they should. 9-5 and 3-1 is more like it. If it gets, if it drifts out further than that, I think that maybe West is Best is the better win bet. That's for sure. Number
5 Sports Section is one that I expect to leave very hard. Got parked early last race and paid a big price for that, but I did like the qualifiers with the 27-3 final quarters. That 56-4 second of the 2 qualifiers was a fairly sharp qualifier, finished nicely. And Colin Kelly certainly can send one off the wings if he wants to. This sports writer, Cole, also raced in the gold. Jared Baco's a fairly accomplished trainer, and I thought that he knows whether this horse belongs in the gold or not. I took that as a tip. I know that you went against that idea, but when highly regarded barns like a horse, I usually figure that's a measuring stick. 5 Sports Section, 2-1.
Yeah, I certainly respect that, and I like it when a horse, races in the gold and they think enough of them and then he gets to face easier. It was interesting because I was surprised this one got sent hard off the gate in that event. He was 30-1 and I expected this one to more so just kind of get away and maybe try to close for a piece in his lifetime debut. So, he got used pretty hard in that effort, that's for sure. We'll see how he bounces back from it. That might be another reason why I didn't really fall in love with this one too much, but I certainly respect the connections and the chances. 5-2 would be a short price for me, though, on this one.
There's the other one in this race that also raced in a gold of the 2, 5, and 7, both racing in the gold last time out. And talk about connections that you could respect. Dr. Ian Moore having a fine year again. Shadow Moon Rising, well, tough though to respect the post position. This one does flash early speed, but has to work from the outside.
Yeah, and you know why, Gary, that I didn't use this one in my top 4. It's just strictly the post position. The qualifiers were good, and the effort first start and the gold was an okay one. I mean, got beat 18 lengths, but again, that's at the gold level. I just figured, post 7 tonight, I'm okay to leave this one off, and if he ends up beating me, he beats me.
Yeah, that qualifier 55-3. Really jumps off the page because that was quicker than he raced. And Shadow Moon Rising probably has more in the tank, but has his work cut out for him from post position to 7. You do get 6-1 if you want to take that shot. And there is number 6, Southwind Pharaoh, is one that battled on the outside for a good chunk in that first start in the grassroots. Now did finish up, although it shows dropping back to 5 1/4 back. It's because, the race they went slow early, and then everybody was able to sprint home. This one did come home in 27-4. Southwind Pharaoh might be a sleeper in here to get onto the ticket at 15-1.
Yeah, overland trip last time against a decent group, and against Stone Carver, Stonebridge Chilios, that's a nice form reference, 16-1. Certainly can't fault anyone for using this one, underneath in the exotics. I do think that this race might be a little more open than it appears on paper, but right now 2-1 and 5-1 are the two that I like. Google My Chrome West is best. I think it's pretty decent.
Well, Google My Chrome at 2-1. Number 5 sports section is the 6-5 betting favorite. It's a field of 8 for the 7th race. It's the 4th grassroots division for 2-year-old pacing colts and geldings. And Dr. Beebe, Google My Chrome. West is best on the inside of the center, Master Fencer, and sports section to the outside. Southwind Pharaoh, Shadow Moon Rising, and Noble Intentions. It's a field of 8, the 7th race. They're in the stretch drive. Here they come. Field for the 7th race is at the start of the rough, and Google My Chrome. Shadow Moon Rising from the outside. Then Dr. Beebe in sports section. Then it is Southwind Pharaoh, and West is best. And then second from last right now is Noble Intentions, and then it is Master Fencer. But Google My Chrome is off to a shiny early start. Leads by 3. Dr. Beebe is second. Shadow Moon Rising is racing third. And then positioned fourth is sports section as the field races their way on up to the opening quarter. 5th in line is Southwind Pharaoh. Then it is West is best and Noble Intentions, and Master Fencer trails the field. Google My Chrome at 3-5 now. Leads for Double J. Popping to the outside. Here comes Shadow Moon Rising, surging with authority on the outside. Dr. Beebe is racing third, and sports section now is fourth as they race off the turn, but it's Shadow Moon Rising, and Tyler Moore now is able to come on and grab the lead. Google My Chrome's racing second. Dr. Beebe third. Then it is sports section and Southwind Pharaoh. Then West is best and Noble Intentions and Master Fencer. 58-1 is the halftime. Shadow Moon Rising leads by about a length and 3/4 into the backstretch. Google My Chrome, Dr. BB, and sports section is fourth, but now is going to slide to the outside. Then it is Southwind Pharaoh, and West is best in Noble Intentions, and Master Fencer. Now it is Shadow Moon Rising, but rising up on the outside comes sports section, and sports section is charging on the outside, and is going to grab the lead from Shadow Moon Rising. It is sports section who leads, and Shadow Moon Rising is second. Southwind Pharaoh is third, and then West is best, and Google My Chrome drops back on the inside. The Noble Intentions Three quarters, 127-2, and sports section as they come on down the stretch drive. Sports section wins it under wraps, and West is best came on to pick up second. Then it was Southwind Faro, and it might have been Noble Intentions fourth, but sports section 156-2. Rob, when he moved down the backside going to three quarters, he was all business, and you knew he was going to clear to the lead.
Yeah, you could see, Gary, it was race over at that point. I knew I was in trouble with my top two selections when I saw him making that move. Nice effort from this one. Probably just got used too hard in that gold event on July the 3rd and came back real strong. And obviously against easier company in this grassroots contest tonight. West is best, definitely an improver for sure. I thought he would be. He ended up finishing second, but not to the horse I picked on top. But sports section, full marks to the effort, and hats off to the connections to come back with a nice victory with this one.
Yeah, and Shadow Moon Rising did a lot of the early work. It might have just expended too much energy as well, but still, that was a solid performance. Shadow Moon Rising redeemed himself a bit from that start in the gold.
Yeah, I thought that one actually might get away from them early on. He left out well and then moved to the lead, and I was like, okay, you know what? I totally underestimated this one. The one I ended up really underestimating was number 5, sports section. But yeah, it was certainly a better effort from that one.
And then we do get to number 6, Southwind Faro, a horse that I thought might outrace his odds. 22-1 on the board. And Southwind Faro had that start in the grassroots. The 27-4 final quarter against tough fractions to close against. They went the half in 59 and came the mile in 55-1. So Southwind Faro really looked a lot better.
Yeah, definitely. And really add some value to this ticket. If you like sports section, Wes's best was pretty easy to use. I'm surprised that he ended up going off at 8-1. He was taking a lot of money, just a few minutes away from post. And of course, Southwind Faro, the one that you were mentioning before, they went behind the gate, Gary, 22-1, and a nice solid effort to land in the show spot.
And Shadow Moon Rising at 7-1 will round out that very nice superfecta. 5, 3, 6, 7. But wheeling back in front of us will be number 5, sports section. 2-year-old sports rider Bay Colts, owned by Dale Kerr, trained by Jared Bako. Colin Kelly, the winning driver. Sports section victorious in 156-2. Also note the 7th race photo, and every photo is by Tiffany Chantel Photography. Note you can get your win photos available about 10 minutes after each race. The photo booth is down on the grandstand level at the west end facing the paddock. That's Tiffany Chantel Photography with all the win photos throughout the evening. The 7th race payouts, 5 sports sections, $6.70, $4 and $2.90. 3 West is best, $7, $3.50, and 6 Southwind Faro, $4.20. The dollar pick 3, $122.55. The $2 exactor, $37.20. The dollar try, $103.25. The dollar super, $488. Fans, note in this 8th race, we have a claim entered 9, The Devil You Know. Note in race 8, claim entered 9, The Devil You Know. Jay Harris drives 7, Joe Rockhead. The 7th race order finished from the top. 682 71345. That's 682 71345.
All right, folks, just a couple of minutes to talk about race number 8. It is the start of our late pick 4, so start mapping out those wagers. And it is for Horse and Geldings claimers, $15,000 is the price tag. For non-winners, of $15,000 life. And this is another race where I said, you know what? I've got to go searching, and I see now that Mr. Gary Guy landed on the same one as me, the same top 3 as me. I like number 3, High Flying Jamie, post 8. In his last 2, and both those starts were the first ones for Drew Neal as trainer, and now gets tagged coming out of a straight non-winners of 2. Tough overland trip that time, got beat by a wide margin, but that race went in 52-4. I'm not going to fault this horse for that. Third, the start before that effort would probably put him into the winner's circle against this group. Condition claimers now for this one. I think it's a much easier group. I like number 3, High Flying Jamie, hoping for a price. I would wanted more than 4-1. But you know what? I'm okay with that because I think this one has a big chance in here. And for second, number 4, Catch Me If Lou Can. Big effort last time on the front end. Ended up getting beat by the Devil You Know, but did lead a long way before giving it up. I think this one should be pointed down the road again tonight. 9-5 is the price that I did expect, and that's why I sided elsewhere. But I certainly think you can't leave Catch Me If Lucan off your tickets because he should be firing early and might be able to stick around to get a big piece of it. And then I went to number 9, The Devil You Know, the winner of this class last time, went first over a long way before winning. Problem I have with this one tonight, the trailing post. How does the trip work out? I'm not sure. Robert Shepard's going to have to figure that out. And, well, I think he's got a big chance, but the trip has to work out. I'm not confident that it will from the second tier tonight. And then number 1, Grugruck's King. I think this one getting back to condition claiming company, on the beat tracks might be what the doctor ordered. I did like the looks of this one a few starts ago. It didn't work out. It might tonight at 7-1. I wouldn't leave Grugruck's King off your tickets from the pole position. But the horses are moving out on the track, so we'll come back in just a few moments to talk about the race more with Gary Guy.
Field for the 8th on Parade 1, Drew Grux King, Brett McDonough for Jeremy Brewer and Jack Racing. Number 2 is Chuck Eaton Love, next to it for Caleb Stevens and Nicole Loeffler. Number 3 is High Flying Jamie Drew Neal, drives and trains for Gary Anderson. And number 4 is Catch Me If You Can, Colin Kelly for Tisha Symes and Charles Symes. 5 is Fast as Phelps, Scott Nicole for Sean Hyatt and Michelle Sherman and Dave Simpson. Number 6, George's Credit, Austin Sorry for Steve Roberts and Rick Edwards. And number 7 is Joe Rockhead, Jay Harris for Mike Salas. Number 8 is River Dally, Child Moore for Heather Pickett and Mike Arndt. And number 9, The Devil You Know, Robert Shepard for Isabel Darvo and Duncan and Shirley Bust. Claim entered. And note that Jay Harris drives 7. Well, Rob, I am shocked that we have the same top 3 here because, now, first of all, we don't see each other's picks before they're revealed. And I was trying to outsmart the race and come up with something different. How did this happen? We're on the same horse. 3, High Flying Jamie. You mentioned a couple of starts for Drew Neal, but I also like that start back June the 15th at Georgian Downs. Post 9 at Georgian's not easy and finished 3rd, and that was a class above this one. High Flying Jamie at 4-1.
Yeah, I was hoping for a bigger price on this one. And, Gary, I think what happened was you told me to study up after Friday night, and I did that. I think we read the same book because I really like this horse, High Flying Jamie. Post 8, last 2 starts. Both those efforts were for, trainer and driver Drew Neal. And I just think that, this is a good opportunity for this one to face much easier and maybe get away well off the gate and instead of having to go an overland journey. So 4-1, a lot less than I was hoping for. I'm sure you're in the same boat with that, but I'm not budging off this one being my top selection.
Well, our second pick together is number 4, Catch Me If You Can. And how can you not like this one for somewhere on the ticket? Did everything right except for just close it out last time out. Has the gate speed and back-to-back good races here in this class. Catch Me If You Can, Colin Kelly for Tisha Symes. It's been a good combination. Catch Me If You Can is the favorite at 5-2.
Yeah, definitely. And, I think the favoritism is warranted. I thought the favorite should either be Catch Me If You Can or The Devil You Know. This one gets his nose on the gate, has a ton of gate speed. We saw it last time, and, might be a real difficult one to catch. 5-2 is probably the right price on this one. If you like Catch Me If You Can, I wouldn't, advise against betting this one to win, but now 6-5, I might steer clear.
A price that's holding up okay, and I don't really mind the trailer post too much with Robert Shepard driving. The Devil You Know, Robert Shepard for Isabel Darvo. That's been a really strong combination at Flamborough for me over the years. And Robert seems to have the ability to come first up with a horse if he has to and then keep the horse just grinding and going. The Devil You Know, the claim is in also this. That's another solid factor. You see this one won here first up last time out as well.
Yeah, I think this horse, has a big chance in here. My biggest knock was the trailing post and also the fact that, Grugruck's King is one that when he does get the job done, it's usually from off the pace. I don't know if this one's going to be able to leave off the gate, even from the pole position. Maybe Robert Shepard decides to follow out the 2, Chuck Heaton Love, but I'm just not sure how far back the Devil You Know is going to have to come from after getting away off the gate from the trailing post.
Well, you mentioned number 2, Chuck Heaton Love. That's the one that I think he might be following out because it certainly shows better gate speed. And also the problem with the one is showed making a break at the start at Woodbine 2 starts ago and didn't leave last time out. They might be cautious again. There is right now on the screen a look at Scotty Coulter in 5, Fast as Phelps. This is Conley's top pick in here. So we'll see how he fares. But this is one that raced at Dresden, parked a good long way, and was a competitive mile just 2 starts ago, and shows some good speed at Georgian Downs, 55-3 back in June.
Yeah, you know what? This is probably a much softer spot for this one, so I can't fault Conley for siding with this gelding, especially right now 18-1. That'll blow up the ROI for him, that's for sure. I just, I kind of overlooked this one, but when I look at him right now, I certainly see what he likes him, and I do think he's a play, certainly at least on the ticket at 18-1.
Well, we're both on number 3, High Flying Jamie at 5-1. We'll see if we're flying high after the race. We have a field of 9 taking up positions. Grook Rex King, Chuck Heaton Love, and High Flying Jamie on the inside of the center. Catch Me If You Can and Fast as Phelps. And then it is George's Credit, Joe Rocket, and River Dally. In the second tier, The Devil You Know. It's a field of 9 for the 8th race. Field for the 8th. Off the turn, into the stretch drive, approaching the start. They're gathering speed. Field for the 8th race is at the start, and they're off, and Chuck Heaton Love will leave out well with High Flying Jamie. Fast as Phelps, Grook Rex King down to the inside, but the early lead right now goes to Chuck Heaton Love. Then High Flying Jamie is racing on the outside second. Now is going to take back and find the pocket in the back of Chuck Heaton Love, and now quickly moving up as Catch Me If You Can comes on to grab third in front of Grook Rex King, and then The Devil You Know comes away in mid-pack fifth in front of Fast as Phelps, and then the trailing 3, George's Credit and Joe Rocket and River Dally. On past the opening quarter, they go in 28-3. Chuck Heaton Love and Nick Stewart's got the lead. High Flying Jamie filling the pocket in front of Catch Me If You Can. Grook Rex King to the inside. There goes The Devil You Know now. Has moved to the outside as they race their way off the turn and will flush out cover. Catch Me If You Can's going to try it first over, giving that cover to The Devil You Know. Grook Rex King to the inside. Then Fast as Phelps is part of the outer flow, but is racing sixth. And then George's Credit back to Joe Rockhead and River Dally. Halftime was reached in 59-3, and it is Chuck Heaton Love who's got the lead as they work their way into the backstretch, and now tucked into the pocket is Catch Me If You Can. Challenging first up comes The Devil You Know, and High Flying Jamie's to the inside racing fourth, and then it is Fast as Phelps and Grook Rex King, and now here comes The Devil You Know, and The Devil You Know has come on to get the lead. Chuck Heaton Love is racing second. Catch Me If You Can and High Flying Jamie. The field works on that final turn. 3/4, 127-4. And they race on that final turn. The Devil You Know. Chuck Heaton Love is fighting back to the inside. And here comes Catch Me If You Can. High Flying Jamie and Grook Rex King. They're still fighting it out as they turn for home. Slim lead for The Devil You Know. Catch Me If You Can. Down to the inside is Chuck Heaton Love. The Devil You Know. The Devil You Know. And The Devil You Know with Chuck Heaton Love. Chuck Heaton Love fought back on to win it over The Devil You Know. And then it was Catch Me If You Can. High Flying Jamie and Grook Rex King won 57-1. That was quite the effort for Chuck Heaton Love to come back along to the inside and get the job done for Nick Stewart.
Yeah, definitely, Gary. You know, I remember last start, July the 12th, you had drawn my attention to this horse and moving into condition claimers from open claimer the start before, had the pole position, raced okay, and then this time comes right back and scores in the front end and really gritty effort there. I thought this horse might be fourth or worse, on the final turn, and he fights back to win.
Yeah, it was really undecided at the top of the stretch, and I didn't have Chuck Heaton Love at that point in my mind. I thought The Devil You Know, or even a late move from Catch Me If You Can, and we see on the outside, but I'll tell you, Chuck Heaton Love, full marks. Nick Stewart, Caleb Stevens had this one ready to go. 4-time winner last year, a second win this year. And also the half, maybe just being able to get a little bit of a spot at the half in 59-3 may have helped this one be able to fight off challengers coming to the finish.
Oh, definitely. And I thought that we were spotted in a nice spot with number 3 High Flying Jamie, but just didn't have it tonight. Ended up finishing fourth, I think. I was hoping for a little bit more from that one.
Yeah, and The Devil You Know actually raced very, very well. Did a lot of work in that race. Robert Shepard did a good job to pick up a trip from the second tier and was right there second. It was a 2.943 top of 4, but that was a really, really good dash as they turned for home. It was still very much in the balance. You get 11-1 on Chuck Heaton Love.
Yeah, 3-1 in the morning line, 11-1. I didn't give the horse any respect anywhere. I guess I should have. Inside speed, right? We always talk about the importance of that here, and for some reason I decided to skip over this one tonight.
Well, it was only my fourth choice, so I don't really get any credit there for fourth because it wasn't fourth or third or second, but Chuck Heaton Love, the winner. It's Chuck Heaton Love is a 4-year-old sports writer, Bay Gelding, owned by Nicole Loeffler of Collingwood, Caleb Stevens, the trainer, and Nick Stewart, the winning drive. It's the second win this year, sixth lifetime. Chuck Heaton Love in 157-1. Eighth race payouts number 2, Chuck Heaton Love. 24, 78, 30, and 479. The Devil You Know. 310, 260 for Catch Me If You Can. $2.90. The $2 exactor, $123.70. Dollar try, $124.10. Dollar super, $512.45. Eighth race order of finish from the top, 514-387-962. Once again, 514-387-962. And the claim of the devil you know. The new trainer will be Gary Bishop. The owners, Courtney Bishop, Leo Fleming, and Bill Baines.
All right, folks. Well, it's time for race number 9, and this is our 5th and final grassroots division of the OSS for 2-year-old colts and geldings on the pace. And in this one, I did go to number 2, Still Thirsty. It's another Robert McIntosh pupil who is by Thinking Out Loud. Travis Henry in the bike, and I like the way this one raced last time from post 7 at Mohawk Park in a non-winners of one event for 2-year-olds. He got away 8th off the gate and closed well. Came home in 57 and 1. Didn't really think he was under too much duress because I don't think he was getting to the winners. That's for sure. 2 starts back, did finish 6th to Colby 2-step. Now a favorable post position in post 2, and I think this one has a license to progress. And I see Gary and I on the same page again in here, both picking number 2, Still Thirsty on top. In for a second, I went to number 6, Head of the Table. This one is trained by Chantel Mitchell, driven by Colin Kelly. And last time, I think that if you, I thought the 6 and 7 would both take some support in here. And if you were going to like one of them, I thought that, you had to like kind of both of them because they went in a similar trip. And this one, kind of ended up in a worse spot, the number 7 Golden Ticket, and Head of the Table ended up racing, I'd say just, okay in that last OSS Grassroots event to finish 8th, beaten 5.5 in a race where Dynamite's Peak was a late closing winner. Did take a lot of support, though, at 7-1. So, I usually like that opportunity to take value back, and right now 6-1 on the board. Head of the Table is one that I'd certainly consider, even as a win candidate. In for third, number 7, Golden Ticket, actually sat in front of Head of the Table throughout the mile, but got a little bit luckier in the stretch, had a little more of a favorable, go of it on that occasion, finished 5th, beating only 2 3/4 lengths under the wire. I think the Golden Ticket certainly has a chance to land somewhere on the ticket. 5-1 on the board for me from post 7 would be too short of a price, even though he is 5-2 in the morning line. And then in for 4th, I put number 1, Juju Hanover. I like this one's qualifier at Mohawk Park. Bob McClure was aboard on that occasion. Only had a couple tippy taps in the lane. Came home in 28-2, and now does get rail control. And is one that you don't want to dismiss. He's the unknown quantity. There's a few in here making their first lifetime start, but with that pole position, certainly one you need to consider. 9-5 on the board, though, way too short for me. But the horses are coming out on the track, and we'll come back in just a few moments to talk about this race a little further with Gary Guy.
Field for the ninth race on Parade 1, Juju Hanover Austin, sorry for Bruce McGee. Number 2, Still Thirsty, Travis Henry for Bob McIntosh and CSX Stables. Number 3, Fox Valley Carlin, Paul Reed for Michael Stamaglio and Bill Richardson and Rhonda Gilmartin. Number 4 is Rainbow Nation, Jason Ryan for a numbered company from Ottawa. And number 5 is Third Pillar, Jody Jameson for Dave Minari and Steve Heimbecker and Ken Ewan and Mike Guerrero and Minari Racing. And number 6, head of the table, Colin Kelly for Chantal Mitchell and Chris Ryder and William Izzo and Robert Mondillo and Barry Spack. And number 7 is Golden Ticket, Mark McKinnon for Common Yellow and Steve Klonowski. Number 8 is Final Cheese Recipe, Robert Shepard for Blake McIntosh and Kim and Dan Sargent. At 9 is Stonebridge Apollo, Scott Kohler for Fred Drillard. It is a field of 9, the 5th grassroots division. We'll take a look at your choice here. Number 2, Still Thirsty, and my top choice. Now, some people might think that I took a look at your picks, being that you're doing so well through the earlier part of the evening. But I can assure you that they get done the night before. I get out that liquid handicapping elixir from the fridge and sit there with the program, and hopefully I get the program selected before I run out of elixir. But we both have number 2, Still Thirsty, 2-1 on the board.
Yeah, and right now we get a little bit of a preview of this first turn with Still Thirsty. Travis Henry scoring him down a little bit. Took it, well enough, I'd say. I just like how this horse has progressed in both of his starts, and this is what you sometimes see out of Bob McIntosh. They come out firing, first time in the first start of their life, where they kind of make steady progression and dropped a lot of time between his 2 starts, 58-1, 2 starts back, then 55-4 last time, 57-1 in the last half, and I like the way he looks right now scoring down, Gary.
Yeah, and you also do see a pretty sizable final quarter in that first start, July the 1st. Still Thirsty is right now getting a lot of love at 9-5 on the board. There is at number 6, head of the table, Colin Kelly for Chantal Mitchell has had one start, $50,000 yearling purchase, and also one that flashes some late closing speed.
Yeah, definitely. You know what? I thought this one raced, pretty well last time. The line looks a little bit underwhelming, and the replay at first look, I thought it was as well. Then I watched it again, and I said, this horse looked like he was one getting an education, more so. He kind of got locked in and hemmed in, and probably didn't really want to play anymore after that happened. Took a lot of support at 7-1, and now you can take some value back right now at 16-1. Here tonight at Grand River from Post 6.
Yeah, that's definitely a nice price for your second choice. Number 6, head of the table, in Colin Kelly. Others, number 7, Golden Ticket. Well, tough post assignment, but is one that was beaten only 2 3/4 last time out in the grassroots, and has already had 2 starts. Both of them were respectable finishes.
Yeah, I didn't mind the efforts, and last time he actually sat right in front of number 6, head of the table, and I think he got the benefit of a better trip of the 2 of them. I think that this one is one you need to certainly look at underneath. My biggest issue is post 7. I'm not sure how the trip's going to work out. 6-1 would be actually still probably too short for me to bet a win ticket on number 7, Golden Ticket.
Number 1, Juju Hanover, inside post position, and makes a first start, just that one qualifier. But look, the track was off a second, but also came home in 28-2, so was picking it up in that final quarter. Juju Hanover certainly could benefit also from post position 1.
Yeah, definitely. I like the qualifier. I watched it a few times, and Bob McClure really wasn't asking this son of Artspeak too much. It was just some tippy taps to the wire, and 28-2 on the end of it. Bob doesn't usually ask him too much, in the mornings, and I thought this one looked good. And pole position is going to certainly help. And out of Jan's Luck, who was a winner of over $1 million in her career, I certainly wouldn't be surprised if Juju Hanover came up with a big effort at first asking.
You used a horse for a price 6 head of the table, second under the favorite, and I used one at price number 3, Fox Valley Carlin, Jay Harris with the drive. I like the closing speed, but in that qualifier, that last one, or rather the race at Grassroots, 55-4, left out and yet still was able to come home in 27-3.
Yeah, this is one that I kind of looked at and struggled with for a bit, and I don't mind either of those efforts, really. I mean, Colby two-step, 2 starts back was a lights-out winner. And, you look at the last quarter times of both this one's, even going back to the qualifier, 27 and change. Certainly some speed there. Favorable post tonight, 8-1 on the board. Can't fault you for liking that one.
Well, at least to play for somewhere maybe on the ticket with a favorable post as well. We'll see how it unfolds for the 9th. They're taking up their positions. The 5th Grassroots Division. Juju Hanover still thirsty. And Fox Valley Carlin in the center. Rainbow Nation in third pillar to the outside. Head of the table, Golden Ticket. And Final Cheese Recipe, the second year, Stonebridge Apollo. Field of 9, it's race number 9. Field for the 9th race. They've reached the top of the stretch. They're into the stretch drive, gathering speed, approaching the start. They're at the start of the rough and getting a well still thirsty. And then also leaving as the field drives into the turn is Rainbow Nation on. They work their way into the backstretch now, and Still Thirsty is able to come on to get the lead. Juju Hanover on the inside. Rainbow Nation is tucked in third. And then it is Fox Valley Carlin and Golden Ticket back to Stonebridge Apollo. Then it is Third Pillar, head of the table, and Final Cheese Recipe trailing, but Still Thirsty has got the lead, and Juju Hanover is racing second. Rainbow Nation is a third, 29 seconds. The opening quarter field is spread out. Fox Valley Carlin is racing fourth, and then it is Golden Ticket. Stonebridge Apollo is racing sixth, and then works in front of Third Pillar as the field comes off the turn and heads on towards this. But right now it is Still Thirsty. And Still Thirsty, and Travis Henry leads it. Juju Hanover right there in the pocket. Rainbow Nation third. Fox Valley Carlin is racing fourth, and then it is Golden Ticket and Stonebridge Apollo. Then it is head of the table, and further back, Final Cheese Recipe. And then back trailing the field as they are about to work their way into the backstretch is Third Pillar. It's a half of 59. Still Thirsty, the 4-5 favorite, has got the lead. Juju Hanover is racing position second. Rainbow Nation third. Fox Valley Carlin now is moving up on the outside and is looking to come on and take over third, and has grabbed it now from Rainbow Nation, who is fourth, and then to the outside. And that is Stonebridge Apollo, who's orbiting up on that final turn and is about to take over fourth, and fifth is Rainbow Nation, and then it is Golden Ticket, 3/4, 128-1. Still Thirsty, Juju Hanover chasing. Still Thirsty as they come on down the stretch ride. Still Thirsty, and Juju Hanover is Still Thirsty, has still got lots in reserve as they come to the finish to win it. Chased well by Juju Hanover, beaten half a length of them. Fox Valley Carlin and Stonebridge Apollo, 156-4, Still Thirsty lived up to the 4-5 billing, Rob.
Yeah, definitely. We talked about that progression, and I'd say that this horse, it really, once again, made a big improvement coming into his third start. We see this with these 2-year-olds, right? They can really improve week to week, and 56-4 here at Grand River tonight is certainly another step in the right direction, and showed another element today going to the front, albeit from post position too, but got to the lead, made every call a winning one. Was benefited from a 59 flat half, but nice effort from Still Thirsty. But you know what? Juju Hanover on debut, pretty willing effort there, sat the 2-hole and chased this one who had 2 starts under his belt already, right to the wire, only missed by about half a length on the wire.
Yeah, it was actually very solid effort by Juju Hanover to keep on marching. And one to note next time out, because also can use that inside post position advantage, Juju Hanover. And then number 3, Fox Valley Carlin was able to kick and use that final speed that we saw on the program and pick up a third.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that everyone was listening to you, Gary, because dropped a couple points right behind the gate. So that's the Gary Guy factor. The last one you talk about usually takes some late money.
Well, I just don't know what to say about that because if they're listening to me, they're likely in some trouble. And 9 Stonebridge Apollo at 10 to 1 to round out the top 4 at 2-1-3-9. But number 2 Still Thirsty. We had this one on top and didn't disappoint us at 4 to 5. The price is disappointing, but the effort certainly wasn't.
Yeah, definitely lots of late money on this one. And you know what? I was needing to get back into the win column. I thought, that I was, coming out gangbusters, and then I was going to just go over the rest of the card. Now I'm feeling confident again.
Wheeling back in front of us is number 2, Still Thirsty, the winner of race number 9. A 2-year-old Thinking Out Loud bay gelding, owned by Bob McIntosh and CSX Stables. Bob McIntosh, the trainer. Travis Henry, the winning driver. First win for Still Thirsty, 156-4. Ninth race payouts number 2 Still Thirsty, 380, 280, 250, 1 Juju Hanover, 490, 343 Fox Valley Carlin, 320, $2 exactor 1730, dollar try 3005, dollar super 115.25. Ninth race order finish from the tops at 2, 1, 3, 5, 8, place 9, 7, 6, 9, place 8, 4. Once again from the top down 2, 1, 3, 5, 8, place 9 for interference, and then 7, 6, 9, place 8, 4.
All right, folks. Well, time flies when you're having fun. It's already race 10, and it's time for our first of two preferred 3 events for horses and geldings on the pace tonight. It is a class so nice we decided to give it to you twice. And in this one here, I am going right back to one that I loved last time. Number 5, Easy Lover Hanover. He is now moving up to the preferred ranks from the top condition class here at Grand River, but what an effort he produced last time. He got used hard early in trying to get to the lead when he's got swagger, hung him out for quite a while there, 26 and 4 to the quarter, and then 56 to the half, 125 and 2 to 3/4, and still was able to gut it out and hang on by a head. I thought it was a rock solid effort for this winner of 51 races now and $1.1 million in the bank. I just think that when this horse gets good, he's tough to beat at any level, and I think he's going to come out again today with another rock-solid effort. 6 to 5 on the board, no value, but I'm a big fan of Easy Lover Hanover, and I think he can get it done in here at the preferred 3 level. And for second to number 2, Opportune Hanover. Last time in a preferred 2 handicap, had the pole position, left out hard, led a long way, and only got beat by 3/4 of a length on the wire. It was a solid effort, and I certainly think this one can come back with another, decent front end try tonight, or maybe he'll sit the 2-hole to Easy Lover Hanover. I think he is a logical one to play underneath. And then number 30 went to number 3, YS Lotus, has been racing in the top condition here at Grand River Raceway. Finished second last time to Bit of Luck, who was a pumped-up winner on that occasion. He has missed, a couple of starts, but I do think that this one merits respect, especially underneath. YS Lotus right now 17 to 1. That's a giant-sized price, especially if you want to use this one on the bottom ends of your trifecta, superfecta tickets. And then in for fourth, number 1, Dream Fair BJ. Last time, kind of went an overland journey in this race from post 4. But I do think that, the pole position might help this one. We see it happen so often in these preferred events. This is an open draw event today. It's not a handicap draw. So it wasn't like he was given the rail because he's considered to be, one of the, lesser, competitors in the race. I think that the pole position, though, will help this one, and we see them land on the ticket so often. It might happen again today, land on the bottom of the super or the trifecta, 25 to 1. That's a big price on number 1, Dream Fair BJ, and one that I might even consider, putting a couple of small win tickets on because he shouldn't be, that long of a number, that's for sure. So for me, I'm going number 5, Easy Lover Hanover. Classy veteran, and I think he notched another win tonight. 9 to 5 on the board. The price is certainly getting better, but we'll come back after the post parade to talk about this first of 2 preferred 3 events with Gary Guy.
Field for the 10th on Parade 1, Dream Fair BJ. Jay Harris for Bobby Joe Weinhold Harris. And number 2 is Opera 2 and ahead of her, J.R. Plot for Julie Robinson and Decline Racing. Number 3, YS Lotus. Brad McDonough for Tom Riley and Amanda Riley and Steve McGill. Number 4 is Cranky's Boy. It is Anthony Hahn for Stephen Roberts and Rick Edwards. And number 5 is Easy Lover Hanover Colin Kelly for Ben Wallace and Bradley Graham. Number 6, He's Got Swagger. Travis Henry for Rachel Andrew. And number 7, Exit Smiling Austin Sorry for Stefan LaRock and Pierre Strasbourg. Number 8, Cyclone Joe. Robert Shepard for Kelly Duval Lakai. And number 9 is Premier Joy. Eddie Hensley for Ashley Hensley. Field of 9, Anthony Hahn drives the 4 Cranky's Boy and Travis Henry drives 6. Let's get a look at this field. And first up, Rob, we have to look at Easy Lover Hanover. And I remember your comment, people who will look at the race line won't realize how tough a win that was for Easy Lover Hanover. He got run hard by Travis Cullen, and he's got swagger last time and still was able to keep digging.
Yeah, definitely. When that race kind of unfolded, I said, uh-oh, because I was on Easy Lover Hanover that night, and I was kind of thinking, you know what, as good as he has been through his career, this is going to be too taxing, and he just kept digging. And if you remember, when Pro Beach came to him, Gary, in the final stages of that mile, I think we both thought that he was going to march right by, and this old boy battled back. And the line really doesn't do the mile any justice, and he's looking pretty good right now, scoring down for Colin Kelly.
Yeah, and I think the other thing with Easy Lover Hanover is, yeah, he's in a preferred 3 class, but he's still way below where he will probably wind up racing in short order soon. Maybe at worst a preferred 2 horse on the half, but I think above that he'll probably be going back downtown.
Yeah, definitely. And confidence is a real interesting thing, especially with this one. We've seen him actually kind of toil at these levels in the past and then actually start winning and end up all the way at the preferred at Mohawk Park. So, I really think that confidence is a big thing with Easy Lover Hanover.
Now, number 2, Opportune Hanover. Certainly could be an opportune horse in here because one that can leave well enough. Raced in the preferred 2 class last race, parked early, was second to JJ Powerball. That's a really nice measuring stick. Opportune Hanover's getting a lot of love at even money.
Yeah, definitely. That inside post is going to probably prove to be beneficial tonight. When you do look at that line, though, and I remember that race, 28 and 58 and 3, right? Certainly a lot easier than Easy Lover Hanover had to do it in his upper condition class. I think this one definitely merits respect on early speed and probably a trip scenario. But I'll tell you right now, 5-2 versus even money, I'll side with Easy Lover Hanover every time.
You know the horse that I just could not leave off my top 3? You did, but I'm not sure if that'll work out. Number 6, He's Got Swagger. The way that he ran Easy Lover Hanover last time out and then still managed to stick around for third, I thought he'd be toast, and he did not pack it in. He's Got Swagger is a legit horse, especially racing at this level, because he's been a preferred 2 horse at Flamborough. He had 8 wins last year.
Yeah, I certainly think he, it's a horse I respect, but, with Easy Lover Hanover drawing the inside of that one tonight, I'm not so sure I'd want to be leaving out with this one. If you remember what happened last time, I think that's a pretty big post advantage for Easy Lover Hanover, but no, he's got swagger. It was a classy horse in his own right, and I just kind of said, okay, 6-hole tonight, maybe it's the night to play against this one on the ticket.
The classy horse that's not getting any regard right now at all, or at least not as much as you would have thought, is 3 YS Lotus, because $458,000 lifetime, and was a very respectable second last time out, up 1 level, but really in the past has faced much tougher than here, and that was a good mile of 54.
Yeah, and a bit of luck that night was just incredible. It was a monstrous effort from that one, and this one did well to finish second. This horse has missed a couple of weeks in between here, but like you said, 37 wins, over 450,000 in the bank. 11-1 is a real big price on YS Lotus right now.
Number 1, Dreamfair Beach is one that you used on the bottom of your ticket. I can't fault you for using post 1 on the half, and this one does show some gate speed earlier on, and look, took a mark at 51-3 last year. It's not like this one doesn't have the ability. 13-1, Rob.
Yeah, I was just hoping that the pole position would wake this one up, get away well, get into the race, feel racy, and maybe get a piece of it, and the price is right, that's for sure.
Well, we'll see how the 10th race unfolds, is because they are moving in behind the gates. And it is Dreamfair BJ, Opportune ahead of her, YS Lotus on the inside, Cranky's Boy, Easy Lover ahead of her on the center to the outside. He's got Swagger, Exit Smiling, and Cyclone Joe, the second tier, Premier Joy. It is a field of 9, the 10th dash. They have reached the top of the stretch. Here they come. Giddy up. Field for the 10th race has reached the start, and they're off. An Opportune ahead of her is going to fire. Cyclone Joe from the outside. Dreamfair BJ and YS Lotus and Premier Joy from the second tier. But as they sprint on into the backstretch, Opportune ahead of her is looking to drive up and get the lead. Dreamfair BJ's racing second. Premier Joy is third in the early going. Then it is YS Lotus. Easy Lover ahead of her was eased off the gate to race from fifth. Then it's in front of Cranky's Boy and Cyclone Joe. He's got Swagger. And Exit Smiling is trailing the field. Opportune ahead of her, and JR Plot has the lead. Dreamfair BJ used that post one advantage to race the pocket as they work around the turn. Premier Joy, a nice job from the trailer post to be third in the early going. Then YS Lotus and Easy Lover ahead of her. The opening quarter was 28-2. They come off the turn. Opportune ahead of her at 6-5 leads the charge up towards us, and Dreamfair BJ is second. YS Lotus is going to come out first over and moving up alongside Premier Joy. Easy Lover ahead of her is still on the inside and is racing fifth right now. Then it is Cyclone Joe as they work their way on into the backstretch of a half of 58-2. And then it is back to Cranky's Boy, and he's got Swagger as second from last, and Exit Smiling is trailing the field. Opportune ahead of her leads it right now by about 2 1/4. Dreamfair BJ is second. Premier Joy to the outside. YS Lotus and Easy Lover ahead of her is locked down to the inside fifth. And then Cyclone Joe and Cranky's Boy. He's got Swagger and Exit Smiling